All right. Well, let's get into it. Go back to the profile real quick. Feeling rather patriotic. Companions. See if I got that guy. But I thought we had a different guy too. It's that guy. Guess it's this guy here. All right, companions. Yep. What's up, Dove? How you doing? Are you guys finally chilling?
As a statue, do not talk to me of pigeons.
Are you guys finally at home? Able to chillax? Yeah, make sure my audio. All right, so we got 1 loss, 2 wins. We're 2-1, so hopefully we can keep this rate going. We did manage to draft a blue-white deck, and it's doing pretty good. All right, let me see. Let me make a couple of changes here. Let me pop this out. Okay. I'm loving these lands. Have you seen these land stuff? Yep, we've been home here today, just busy catching up on some stuff we didn't get done. I heard you're going to be breaking bread, so that I hope your day went amazing. Your bread breaking day went amazing. Salt Merchant. Uh-oh. Going against Salt Merchant. I guess that means he's going to make me cry, I think. Let's get this done. Play this. Go ahead and warp this in. Swing for 2. Hope you're doing well. Let me bring this up on here real quick. Let's try this. Let's see what happens here. See what my opponent does. I don't know if you can I don't know if he realizes that I can put it on my. Okay, counters it. Okay, fine. Go ahead and swing for 2. It's just a little bit so my hands are not banging into it, making you guys' ears ring. All right. It went great. We helped some friends and spent some time helping them. They are letting us use one of their vehicles while we are fixing Tim's. Well, that is very, very good to hear. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm going to do this. Decline. Opponent has got green, blue. Okay. Let me make sure I hit the like button myself here. Go ahead and share this out to my main channel. Marathon draft session. I'll go ahead and post that. Our dogs went crazy, ready to charge us growls and everything until I got out of the car. Oh, really? They hadn't seen you in forever? All right, let's see. go ahead and swing this one. So the question is, do I bring this out? I think not. I think I wait. What's up, handsome? You being a good boy, Shadow? Yeah, he's just staring at me. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Lay down. Lay down. Boy. Yes, you are. You're such a good boy. All right, we got 5 people in the chat. Do me a favor, hit that like button, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. If you're new to the channel, yap some more. You know, leave a comment. All right, so I guess my turn. Trying to think here. I think we just swing for 2. See what happens. Okay. Well, I'm kind of trying to encourage this guy to attack, but he didn't seem like he wants to. So we're gonna put this down. All right, Lost in Space. Sure, I'll put that on top. I don't have a problem with that. They did not recognize the the vehicle, and it was dark. Got it. Yeah. Well, that's good dogs. Good dogs. Tell Tim I said hello. Hope he's doing well. Being a stranger, being all quiet, being all distant. When the spacecraft enters, put a +1/+1 on each creature you control. No. I say no, sir. Good day to you, and good day to you again, sir. Missing dog, large black lab with leash attached. He is 2 years old, Rocky. We're going to say no blocks. Okay. And we're going to go here. Swing for 3. Opponent is at 7 life, chat. We might be okay here, maybe. Let's hope we are. Dude, would you stop staring at me like that? You're freaking me out. Go. Go. Get your toy. Where is it? Get your bone. Get your bone. Where's your bone? Geronimo's like trying to lay down because he's tired. Well, come here, buddy. You're not in trouble. Oh, go, boy. 100% purebred good boy. Good boy. Alright, what does this thing do? Does it fight? That's not very nice. It's got 2 cards in hand. I really need some land. Okay, so when it enters, I think I'll do this. I think I'm going to decline, and I'm going to swing. Alright, opponent's at 5. I really need some mana. Some mana would be amazing right now. Just amazing. Alright, that's my alarm to let my chickens. But I already did it. All the girls were in the pen already. We had a nasty thunderstorm last night. Came in. Lost in Space. Sure. Okay. Pity the person that trespasses with these dogs. Yeah. I agree. Self-craft mech. Oh, I do have mana in my deck. Amazing. It's like a Christmas miracle. That requires 9. Yeah, it's at 3. So I mean, I'm kind of almost wanting to taunt this guy. So next turn, I can get this thing in the air, and that means he dies next turn if he doesn't kill my creatures. Oh, what's up, MC Dilligaf? Dogs are great. Hiya, Dove. Okay, I was buffering and just typing random stuff for algorithm. Uh-oh, here comes MC. Is you going to try to steal your #1 crown? She's going to try to steal your crown. Don't let her do it, Dove. Yikes, come on. Really? Like, really? Really? Al Gore should be a professional dancer. Indeed. Another one? No way, bro. Really, dude? Come on. Get out of here with this. That's BS, man. Ain't no shot. No frickin' shot. I need something to kill that thing with. Dagnabbit. Submit one. And then we're gonna go. Yes! We did it, chat. We top decked the exact card we needed when we needed it. Alright, Shadow, hold on, guys. Shadow's acting really weird. He's being super sus. 1 second, guys. Let me try to figure out. Maybe Esco poop. Yes, that's a good question. Are the goats faring well? Oh, IR here. Shadow had to go potty. He had to go. He had to go number 2. He had to go number 2. All right, 3 and 1, chat. We're doing the thing. It looked a little touch and go there for a second, but we didn't lose heart, and we made it through. I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through. Didn't know how lost I was till I found you. The goats are great. Weird about trying new foods. Alrighty then. Destroy target non-land permanent controller creates. It's the first time I've seen that one. I don't think I've seen that one yet. Yeah, I don't think I've even seen that one yet. I thought I had 2 of these in my deck. Maybe I don't. Do I have 2 of these knights? I'm just not seeing them? Oh, my opponent is not playing around, chat. My opponent is not playing around, chat. They like the cucumbers, though. Awesome. Yep. We're gonna feign a block. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Well, let me see. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. We'll do that. We'll swing. Let's get it. Let's get it. Geeter, geeter. Sure. Okay. That's a good card. I have one of those. Actually, I don't think I have that one. It's considered an artifact. Let's do it. Okay. The chickens and dogs all love the zucchini right away. I'm gonna do that. Cancel out that 3. Fine, it's fair. It is what it is. I'm at 1. Alright. Turn. I'm at 11. This is gonna hurt. I don't think I'm gonna do so well on this one, chat. Yep. I think I'm getting whooped. What's up, boot camp? Boot. No stream tonight. We're waiting. What happened? So I think I go here. Right? Yeah, I'm doing this one over on my gaming channel. All right. Oh, wow. All right, hold on, chat. Let me do this real quick. I might be even way too loud, but we're gonna listen to some Tim Pool, chat. For those of you that might not understand Magic, we can listen to some Tim Pool, learn a little bit about our world.
Tsunami advisory for Hawaii. An 8.0 magnitude earthquake was near Russia, so it looks like the tsunami advisory, I should say, an advisory going out to all of Hawaii. This is breaking just as we're getting started from the for the show, and considering it could save lives, you know, we'll always try to make sure we get those messages out to anybody who may be listening out in Hawaii or anywhere in the Pacific. Please stay safe, everybody, and we'll be monitoring the situation to see what happens. In the meantime, we're going to be talking about things that are substantially less relevant, but still relevant to the culture, and that is South Park's latest episode, though not out. They put out a trailer, and Cartman is Charlie Kirk. Now, this matters, my friends, because it basically means, I got to say it, I know the left is going to whinge and whine about it. Feels like we won the culture war. That's it. They didn't make a single episode about Joe Biden or Harris. Now they're making episodes about Charlie Kirk. Charlie, you made it. Charlie Kirk changed his profile picture to that of Eric Cartman. And I'm pretty sure South Park is older than Charlie Kirk is. Easily. Several years, in fact. So it's pretty crazy to see that Charlie, TPUSA, Trump, and this independent media space has become substantially more relevant than any other cultural reference that South Park could be mocking right now. That could be a sign of the collapse of society, or maybe we've just won. So we'll talk about that. Plus, it looks like Stephen Colbert is trying to get fired. Yeah, at least that's what Time Magazine is saying. He's basically begging to get fired by attacking his network mercilessly. We'll talk about that. And then we've got an interesting story. I covered this on my morning show. It's the Tamura, New York City conspiracy theory. While Eric Adams, the mayor, and the media have reported that this guy in New York in this mass shooting had a note in his pocket, a letter saying that he was targeting the NFL. There are many believe that it's true.
Well, let us know if you go live, all right? Send me like either call me on the phone or something like that so we can tune in. I'd be excited to see it.
Motivations was targeting Blackstone.
What's up,
Blackstone
Mr. Monday?
Granted, the president of Blackstone gave the largest donation to Tel Aviv University in its history. Not to mention, one of the women, the executive that was killed, was a Jewish philanthropist. And so some believe that this may have been motivated by this globalized the Intifada movement. The target that he went to was actually on a list of targets put up by these activists. Now, it's maybe conspiracy theory. Nobody really knows for sure what this guy's motivation was, so we'll go through that. And plus, we got a bunch more stories to get through. We got a lot, actually. Chat bots are now passing the Turing test, so they claim. Gen Z college grads are basically unemployed. We'll talk about that and more. Before we get started, we got a great sponsor. It is Alio. My friends, we all know how the world has become increasingly divided, politically, socially, economically. But many of these divisions stem from a deeper misunderstanding of how money, markets, and policy actually work. Wouldn't it be great if there was an investment app that was designed by people who understand a macro perspective and how global events affect your finances? Now you can have the power in the palm of your hand with Alio Capital app, powered by Altitude AI, which identified shifts in inflation, interest rates, and global risk. In real time. Designed for hands-on or hands-off investors. Macro investing for people who want to understand the big picture. Download their app in the App Store or at Google Play, or text TIM to 511-511.
Ooh, that's a good deal, man.
It's ALLIO Capital. Text TIM to 511-511. Download the Alio app or text TIM. You guys get it. Investing involves risks, including potential for loss of principal. Past performance does not guarantee results. See terms and conditions. Text fees may apply. This is a paid advertisement for Alio Capital. Shout out and thanks for sponsoring the show. We got another great sponsor, my friends. It is Beam Dream. Go to shopbeam.com and use promo code TIMPOOL for 35% off your Beam Dream. This stuff helps you sleep. And my friends, I have been taking it every single night, and it is absolutely unquestionably the best thing ever.
Manna would be
I can't tell you how, and I mean this sincerely. You know, Beam, I know you guys give me a script and all that, and you want to talk about how I feel. No, legit. We had a lot of late nights. We've been doing these Saturday shows. I need to make sure I get to sleep on time, and it's not always so easy because we'll get back. It's midnight, and I got to lay down, and I'm sitting there. So I get in. Every night for the show, I've been making a cup of this delicious Beam hot cocoa, and within 10, 15 minutes, I am out, deep sleep, and I'm hitting some of the best sleep numbers of my life. I got a 99 on my sleep score in the past couple of nights. It's been absolutely amazing. So, guys, go to shopbeam.com, promo code TIM. This is basically a late-night hot cocoa. It's got magnesium. It's got melatonin. It's got L-theanine. It's got a bunch of vitamins and other stuff, and it's good for you. It's great. No sugar. So I'm a big fan. Not some gimmicky.
One of the only people, I think maybe the only person.
Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more, we got Steve Cortez.
Thank you. Thrilled to be here. First time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
What do we got here?
So, folks probably know me if they've seen a lot of cable news television over the years. I think I'm one of the only people, I think maybe the only person who's been a paid contributor to the top 4 cable news networks. So, yes, I actually worked for Fox News as well as CNN. My time at CNN, by the way, was at the request of President Trump. I deserved combat pay because behind enemy lines, it was not fun. I essentially did then what Scott Jennings does now. The reason that Donald Trump asked me to do that is because
what's up, Yoda?
Campaigns in 2016 and 2020. So I'm a TV spokesman.
I salute you, sir.
Media messaging.
Hail and well met.
Hispanic outreach for the Trump campaigns in 2016 and 2020. Worked for outside groups on behalf of Donald Trump in 2024. And currently I'm doing short documentaries.
I kind of feel like he's trying to kind of low-key talk like Alex Jones a little bit.
Writing a lot of articles, still doing a lot of TV appearances and shows like yours, and promoting the message, getting ready for 2026 to try to win the midterm. So, I mean, I'm a campaign guy at heart, but care a lot about policy, too.
Right on. Thanks for hanging out. We got a lot. He's hanging out.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. Cortez, we're really happy to have you on tonight. I've seen a lot of your work before, so really excited to get your expertise on a lot of different topics tonight. I am Timcast's White House correspondent and field reporter. Phil, how's it going?
How you doing, everybody? My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Here's the news. I call it news, but sure. We got this from the Post-Millennial. South Park features Cartman as Charlie Kirk in a new episode, and Charlie Kirk has changed his profile picture to Eric Cartman. This is amazing. It is crazy to see that CBS is spending $1.5 billion on this. So that $1.5 billion, $30 million
would be great
per episode. And who is their target? It's obviously Donald Trump. He's the president. But for Charlie Kirk,
voice.
congratulations, man. You made it. It's wild because I'm pretty sure South Park is older than Charlie is.
Yeah. By the way, so a huge win for Charlie Kirk, Chicago boy, like we are. We love to see Chicago boys do well, but more importantly for the country, I think the point is here, you're right, we are winning the culture war, right? When South Park feels that they need to mock a show host and a campaign operative, albeit a super important one, like Charlie Kirk. Also notable, CBS, let's remember, CBS had to pay a significant settlement.
Wait, what's going on with MC Dilligav? Wait, what happened? I'm a little confused. Say no blocks. Oh crap! I could have. Dang it! I gotta pay attention. I could have countered
To
that.
Donald Trump. I think a huge win for accountability. I think one thing Trump is bringing in this second term is accountability. Whether it's accountability for media, whether it's accountability for people who perpetrated the Russia hoax, but accountability. You know, so many Americans have been so frustrated because we've been told lies time and again.
This,
and just
this no
told you have
mana
to
thing
accept
is
it, you
just.
have to
God,
pretend
I
it's
hate it
just,
when this
well, we're
game
done with
screws
that.
me,
And
dude.
Trump's the leader of
I
that.
hate it when this
counter-revolution
game
of
screws me.
saying, no, there will be revelations, there will be transparency, and there's going to be accountability.
So I'm
This is
interested. I want
insane.
to push back on that idea that the right is winning, and only because I feel like the MAGA coalition is not just the right. So, what would you say to someone that said,
You're back
maybe
again,
the right isn't
having to
winning,
do the
but the
shuffle with
left
a.
is
Oh no!
losing. The left has lost
Sure.
a lot
I'm
of
sorry to
people
hear
that
that.
used
Man,
to
you are
be.
having a rough go.
The normie Democrats are leaving the left in mass, and you've got a lot of people
Slow and
that
steady.
were Democrats in the '90s that actually kind of created and started the MAGA
Sure.
coalition. So what would
This
you
is
say to that?
this
No,
is
listen, I think
insane,
it's both,
man.
right? And to me, like, it doesn't have to be either or. I don't think it has to be binary. It can be both and.
Sure.
Clearly, the Democrats have become so radicalized in the 2020s that they are totally inhospitable and unwelcoming to normal people. And I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that. It's one of the key reasons that they've lost the working class. It's not just about the economy. That's key. But it's also cultural issues, right? I mean, a lot of working class people are highly religious. They believe, for example, that there's two sexes. I mean, go figure. They don't like the Democratic Party that is obsessed with pronouns and forcing gender ideology and other crazy Marxist ideas down their
I
throats.
think their 35% approval rating, like record low. I think
record
that
low.
speaks to that.
Yeah, all-time low. Now, not all of them are MAGA populist right people, right? Some of
This is ridiculous, dude. I'm stuck with 3 mana. This is. I mean, this is. I'm sorry, guys. This is just very frustrating. I mean,
of them are, though, too, and some of them are also, it's not just the negative of being repelled by the Democrat Party. They're also attracted to a vision of muscular populist nationalism, right? And I believe that that's why right now, for example, in polling, and I do a lot of polling, Trump's best issue by a lot is immigration. It's where the media attacks him the most, right? And they think they're going to make hay, and yet it's actually his strongest issue. Because guess what? Controlling the border doesn't just make sense for our national security and our street safety. It's a huge economic issue. Working class people
often
know
can be bad.
they're having to endure unjust, unlawful competition in the labor market from millions and millions of illegals, and they've had enough of it.
I think one of the things that Democrats are
Oh,
particularly
goodness.
shocked by,
Ugh,
maybe you could
that's not
speak
good.
to a little bit more on this, is that Hispanics seem to be not as unsympathetic towards other Hispanics being deported that
Right.
maybe Democrats would have thought. So in the past, Democrats thought immediately if Trump were to increase funding for ICE and increase deportation numbers, that this would harm him with those communities. Maybe can you speak on that? As I understand, you did Hispanic outreach on one of the Trump campaigns. in the
Yes,
past.
yeah, actually, both in 2016 and
I
2020.
do have
You know,
mana.
I think this is one of the most amazing stories of the populist right movement, of the MAGA movement, is Hispanics coming in mass to the political right, and I think it's a lasting movement. But to that point of let me give the evidence. Last November, Trump nearly won Hispanics. We know this from the Pew Validated Voter Survey. He did win Hispanic men. He won Hispanic men nationwide in the key areas. He won the overall Hispanic vote, like South Texas, a place that used to be overwhelmingly
Yeah, that's game
Democratic.
chat.
Starr County, for example, which is 97% Hispanic. Most Hispanic county in America on the U.S.-Mexico border. Hillary Clinton won it by 60%, 6-0 back in 2016. Trump won it by 16 this time. I mean, that's a mammoth move in just 3 cycles. And his signature issue is immigration.
Not
you know,
give up, though, Chad.
to your point, to your question about, are
Never
Hispanics
give up.
soft on the border? No, they actually believe in again, a muscular vision of sovereignty. They know that it protects their jobs, their street safety. And by the way, down there in Starr County, one of the things I heard, I made a documentary down there, I heard time and again, everyone has a friend or relative that works for Customs and Border Patrol down there because it's the most Hispanic agency of the federal government.
What do you think?
And
then
if I come
caused
back
that
and win
huge
this, it'd
swing
be like a
among
miracle,
Hispanics then?
Chad.
I don't know if you think it was immigration. Is there a particular issue that you think Democrats just absolutely dropped the
Christmas
ball on to
miracle.
to reaching out to these voters with?
It was cultural radicalism, cultural liberalism from the left. So that was the sort of negative force, draining away Hispanic support for the Democrat Party, which traditionally was super strong. And then on the positive side, it was this vision that we will make life better for workers. It was a priority on workers because Hispanic men, for example, highest workforce participation rate of any group in America, something we should be really proud of. The most entrepreneurial demographic in America. We love to start new businesses. And Donald Trump came along and said, I'm going to make working class people the priority. I'm going to prioritize small business. And by the way, he didn't just say it, he delivered in his first term. 2019, by any metric, was the greatest year for workers in all of American history. Unfortunately, the COVID panic totally interrupted that progress. But 2019 is when we saw worker pay soar above inflation, meaning real wages accelerated. And the people who benefited the most were Hispanics, blacks, small business owners, all thrived. And so we've built this broad MAGA coalition now that's multiracial, multi-ethnic, and even geographically spread out, right, to the point where Trump was able to win the popular vote based on this vision. So now it's his job and our job to deliver on that promise again in this second term.
And now it looks like South Park is targeting the independent media space. It's targeting the coalitions that helped Donald Trump get elected. Fascinating that Charlie Kirk, with his campus outreach, is now a focal point for South Park.
Right.
I'm curious what you think it means. Aside from all the obvious general stuff, we had all these victories. Colbert gets canceled.
Yeah.
$30 million an episode gets given to South Park, and they immediately say, okay, we got to go after Charlie Kirk. We got to go after Donald Trump. Sounds to me like the anti-Trump machine that was spending the equivalent of one WNBA per year. That's what Sam Tripoli calls it. He calls it one WNBA per year to fund Colbert's show. And they said, we're not going to lose that money anymore. It's $40 to $50 million.
Right.
They give $1.5 billion to South Park. So I don't know how much money South Park is making. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine that it's making it's making a lot more than Colbert. Let's be real.
Sure.
But to cover the cost of $1.5 billion sounds to me like they said, go after the right and do it in a non-woke way because woke is broken, woke isn't working.
Right.
It seems like with the Sydney Sweeney ad, they're realizing, okay, if we want to win power back, we got to get rid of this weird hall monitor garbage and try and be edgy again. So they're trying to now make the right, once again, the butt of the jokes. What do you guys agree?
I think being featured on South Park is a form of respect, even if they are insulting you. So to even be mentioned, I think, is a form of respect. It's not other, influencers or I don't know what we want to call Charlie Kirk political commentators who are getting referenced
Charlie's
like this.
Probably the most prominent conservative in the country right now.
Look, you don't get on South Park if you are irrelevant. Right. If you're not actually relevant to the culture, whether you're getting hate or especially when it's politically charged, you're going to get hate from the left. That comes with the territory. And South Park isn't going to take the time to not only put you on the show, but make Cartman the guy that's playing you in the show. Make Cartman one of the most important characters.
Right.
Generally, Cartman's looked at as the guy with the bad opinions, but even still, he's probably the funniest guy on South Park because he's the guy with the bad opinions. So yeah, it's whether you consider it a sign of respect or not, it just shows that Charlie's actually really hit a chord with pop culture.
Yeah.
Charlie is in fact older than South Park. I didn't realize. He's 31. Oh yeah. I thought he was in his late 20s.
But it's a great point, because in politics, I'm a messaging guy, right, a media guy. In politics, to be ignored is death, right? So being attacked can be very powerful, and it's smart of Charlie, by the way, to embrace it, to say, heck yes, yeah, I'm Cartman, I'll make it my profile pic, run toward it, and revel in it.
That's why I say this is cultural victory.
Yeah.
The fact that for the longest time they were heavily criticizing independent media or just treating it as irrelevant. They were trying to just act like it was all corporate press. Now they're starting to recognize the real threat to their system is Charlie Kirk. It's independent media.
Yeah,
and
I
so
don't
the
think I'm
guys
gonna win
here
this one.
are telling me
Almost.
that we're going to be made fun of by
Almost
them at
pulled
some
it out.
point. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know that we're that relevant.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'm basically drinking a cold coffee right now. Yikes, chat.
Fingers crossed.
Goals.
Yeah, you know.
But I did always wonder about that because, you know, watching Family Guy or South Park or these other shows, they don't really talk about Rogan, right? Clearly one of the most influential
Oh,
guys,
you
if not
shouldn't
one of the
have
most
done that. That was
influential
silly.
in politics, whether
You
it's
should have left it on
intention
the
or
other
not.
one.
They don't make it the butt of their jokes. They still talk about late night TV. It's funny when you watch these shows and they'll make fun of Colbert or Kimmel, and it's like those guys get a couple 100,000 hits. So I'm wondering, we'll see, I guess.
Can I say one last thing on this, though? I do have an inkling that we are being trolled. Matt Stone and Trey Parker have a reputation for, like, making episodes, like, a week out or 6 days out from being able to air. And they also said at Comic-Con that, like, the last promo that they made was just a bunch of random fake cutscenes that they spliced together because they didn't have enough time to create the actual episode. So, like, in the past, they've always waited for, like, the deadlines to do this. And it did look just like a random bunch of BS cutscenes thrown together. At the same time, I don't know who's riding whose coattails because they definitely knew that this would go viral on the political right. So we'll see if the episode ever comes out. I just wanted to add that in there in case we are getting trolled.
So here's what I want to mention. Did you guys know that there's never been a single episode of South Park targeting Joe Biden or Kamala Harris?
I wasn't
Really
aware of that.
irrelevant.
Joe Biden was vice president for 8 years, and he was president for 4, and South Park did not ever mock Biden or Harris. And according to social media reports, I asked ChatGPT, it says the creators opted not to target Harris in the 2024 cycle.
Wow.
Funny, how about that?
Well, and in both
Come
cases,
on.
I mean,
4 freaking lands in a row, chat. What are the odds? Oh, this is just ridiculous, man. What are the freaking odds? Oh, why do I waste money on this game? Why? Why do I buy cards? Why? I'm not buying cards anymore. This is going to be the last time. Just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
so much to make fun of, right? I mean, so much material there. I mean, in terms of Biden, his stumbling around, right? The clear cognitive issues. And it's not like, oh, they were trying to be, they thought that was mean, right? They have no problem being mean. And with Kamala, her word salads, right? All the rumors about her drinking. I mean, there's so many things that he could do, that they could do, right? To dive in and be really funny in castigating these two, and the fact that they chose not to is pretty telling, right?
Felt like to her detriment. Like, what's worse as a politician, to be hated or unknown, and
Right,
it's
well,
to
that's
be
what I'm
unknown,
saying,
as
yeah.
you mentioned
Indeed.
earlier.
That's why I'm saying it's funny because, you know, everybody's favorite Sam Cedar and all these liberals are like Tim Pool having a meltdown over South Park. I was like, I actually praised it. I said they were funny. I just said that the jokes were, the jokes they chose to go with were like C- jokes.
Yeah.
They did this episode about, I'll give them this. Because you know, South Park does an episode mocking Trump, and what's the joke? He's gay, and he's with Satan. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure every conservative is going to agree with that message about being gay is being devil worship or satanic and to be mocked. Like the idea that the way they make fun of Trump is to make him gay.
Right.
It's like, yeah, okay, okay, being gay is something to make fun of, I guess.
Right.
South Park, if that's like they attack the trans people, now they're making fun of Trump, saying, haha, look, he's gay, and it's like, okay, all right, like this is where, think about this for a second. Our culture, the culture war has shifted so dramatically that if it is true that Paramount is trying to be anti-Trump in a non-edgy way, they like the Sydney Sweeney ads, hilarious. They're basically like, let's just get like a white blonde chick with big boobs, and we're gonna sell a bunch of merch, a bunch of clothes. It sounds like Paramount was like, okay, hall monitor, anti-racist, none of it worked. What do we do? And they're like, you've got to be offensive and edgy. So they've decided the strategy is going to be to make fun of people for being gay, to make fun of trans people. That's why I'm saying it feels like maybe we have not won the culture war, but we're certainly winning. When their attitude is, we have to make fun of Trump. How do we do it? Well, we can't call him racist or white supremacist because people don't respond to that. Make fun of him for being gay. People don't like that.
Right.
All right. Okay.
It means nature is healing, right? I mean, particularly the Sydney Sweeney ad, right? I mean, that tells us like nature is healing. Okay, we're going back to what we know works, what has worked for time immemorial, right? Like men love beautiful young women, especially if they're doing something funny, right? I mean, nature is healing. It's happening.
And I'm loving the meltdown too. Let's jump to the story from Time because it gets better. Stephen Colbert is practically daring CBS to shut him down early. Yeah, you can say that. Here's the way I'm going to describe it. Stephen Colbert is having what can only be described as one of the most epic temper tantrums ever seen in American public life. Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, you got canceled. And Time Magazine says that he's basically just going nuts on every single episode, going so heavy against his network that he's daring them to shut him down. And I'm like, no, he's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Like, imagine dedicating 10 years of your life to being on the wrong side of every single issue. Mm-hmm. And then finally the network comes to you and says, you are fired. And not only that, think about it. Colbert goes to his agent and says, what can I do after this? And they're like, nothing.
Right.
Your whole career for 10 years is Trump is bad. That doesn't sell anymore. You are not a brand we can hire. And so he's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Do you blame him?
I mean, look, the protest about him drew like 20 people, I think, something like that. I forget what the name of the protest or whatever was. It drew like 20 people. He doesn't have the audience, and there are two things going on with the Colbert situation. First of all, he doesn't have the finger on the pulse of what is relevant anymore. Just going after Trump doesn't sell, clearly. But also, he's done this in a climate where people don't watch television anymore. Mm-hmm. They don't watch late night shows. All the late night shows are down. And granted, it's down because of the content, but it's also down because Netflix is a thing, and Paramount has their own channel, and Disney has
have
their own
enough
channel,
ice
and
that
all
Tim
of
and
these
I
other
can each
options
have
that
an iced
people have,
coffee. Nice.
If they don't like exactly what you're
That's good news.
producing, they're going to go somewhere
Congratulations.
else. And so in this climate, to try and alienate half the population, it's a recipe for disaster. And I think Colbert's just the first one. I think more are going to fall.
Yeah, if you look in totality, for the first time now, streaming has surpassed linear television, right? Yep. Both broadcast and cable put together. It's been trending that way for a long time, but those lines have crossed, right? So, to your point that he was fighting uphill anyway. But when you fight uphill and you're just a scold,
you guys put cream in? No, you guys just
you
go
don't even try to be
black.
funny in a show that's supposed to be about
Tim's
levity.
going to add
It's
something.
supposed to be sort of a break. Let's have a laugh before you go to bed. I mean,
I can imagine what that
night TV was.
I can
And it was
only
really
imagine
in America
what
at one
that
point,
something
right?
would be.
Sort of the legends of late night, like Johnny Carson. They made fun of politicians occasionally, but they were very bipartisan, right, in their barbs, and it was great for America, and Americans loved it. Now, instead, we get this scold who is lecturing America.
Colbert was not bad,
and Kimmel's the
but I prefer
same, right? I mean,
Stewart.
unfortunately,
Colbert
that
went out of he went
mold
crazy.
has become a bunch of lefty nags, and nobody likes it, and nobody wants to hear that, especially before bedtime. So thankfully, it's not working.
200,000 people in the key demo like it.
Yeah, well,
and
that's nothing.
3 million boomers.
Right.
That's the crazy thing. The one age
Colin.
demographic. From
Yeah, they're all kind of corrupt, though, man.
Was anti-Trump. They went.
They're all
was,
kind of
29. It's 30
goofy.
to 39. The only decade, the age bracket was 70 plus. That was anti-Trump. Everybody else was pro-Trump, and they're watching Colbert.
Yeah.
And that's all they get.
Ooh, what do we get here,
I
chat?
can't imagine what must.
Hold on, folks. I need to read this real quick, so I'm going to need to focus. Move a counter from target permanent you control onto a second target permanent. What do we got? Enchant creature you control. Attacks. Put target creature card from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control tapped and attacking. Sacrifice this aura unless the non left the battlefield. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah. I think we like that. That's actually a really good card. What are you guys doing? Hi, Finny. Is mommy okay? Uh-oh. Is mama okay? Finn's down here. Depressurized. That's pretty good. What do we got here? This creature's power, where X is the greatest mana value among other artifacts you control. Well, that could be pretty dang good. I think we're just gonna hate draft that. You get over there. Emergency eject. It's not bad. This card is pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, let's destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a lander. I mean, that's removal. Core creature gets +1 exile. You control target player's turn. I think we're gonna do that. All right, here we go.
Must be going through the mind of your 75-year-old watching Colbert, who's thinking, "Wow, look how bad Trump is. How could anyone like him?" And then Trump wins the popular vote.
Right.
Weird reality.
It's kind of sad because I don't know if I'm the only one here, but I used to like his show like a decade ago, The Colbert Report, before he did the late night show.
When it was normal.
I don't know if I'm a sucker here because it was kind of just like a parody of Bill O'Reilly. I don't know what they were. I think that was the angle there, but I thought that was like really rich and funny and like I don't know. I was very young at the time too, but just to see this complete transformation, to see him be unrecognizable. He's a total actor though, and you don't really know what you're getting with this guy. Like I don't know who the real Stephen Colbert actually is. When we do see him behind the scenes, we see him dancing with Chuck Schumer. Right. So I'm just led to believe that he is a Democrat. He's also a practicing Roman Catholic, and I think he spoke about like significance of that.
That's why
in his work.
So pro-choice.
Like I feel like it's so interesting to see the ways that Catholicism manifests in our politics, because when I hear about Catholics, mostly you think of like the J.D. Vance types who not too long ago converted, but I feel like the average Catholic in our country is probably closer to Stephen Colbert, frankly, for all I know.
Well,
to be fair,
I don't know.
Yeah,
am I
let me
wrong
push
on that?
back
Please.
on that because I know these numbers cold. As a matter of fact, I just gave a speech on this topic last week in my work for Catholic Vote. So Trump carried Catholics by 12% nationally this time, and he tied among Catholics against Joe Biden. So one of the key reasons he did not win, that he was not already president in 2020, is because he tied. Now, Joe Biden, of course, presented himself as a Catholic president, as a Catholic candidate. I think it's a bunch of baloney, right? But nevertheless, it worked with a lot of Catholics. Trump won Catholics by +8 in 2016, tied in 2020, +12 this time. So the reason that he won the national popular vote is Catholics coming his way. Catholics are sort of the swingiest vote and also just a giant cohort. There's over 50 million Catholics in America. So I would say Catholics have moved way more toward Trump than they are toward Colbert.
But here's a question. Can you be pro-choice and be Catholic?
No, not legitimately.
So the point that he's making when he says Catholics are closer to Colbert, they're not Catholics.
People who identify themselves as Catholic.
Right.
You know, I think we get into like murky territory where we're judging. I'm not one to judge if somebody is
who's authentically.
and you were careful with your language there. Speaking about Joe Biden's religion, you said like what was it? Not pretending, but not presented. That was the word you used.
Yeah.
Presented as Catholic. Do you not believe that? I don't know that he is truly, because I mean I'm even looking at Stephen Colbert when he had the cross for Ash Wednesday. It is. So like I feel like the average person who believes themselves to be Catholic in this country is
What's up, Karma?
Okay, yes.
How you doing?
This is an important distinction. So, by the way, those numbers I just gave you are people who identify as Catholic. And that, again, that's from the Pew Validated Voter Survey. So that's people who identify as Catholic. Trump was +12, right? That is not any reflection on whether or not they practice what they actually believe, right? That's not judging their Catholicism. It's just saying, do you identify as Catholic? That's it. Trump won +12, won overwhelmingly. If you then break it down to practicing Catholics and say, okay, do you go to church at least twice a month? Or do you believe in certain issues? Well, then Trump's percentages shoot into, I mean, he's literally in the 80s or even 90s. You know, then they poll and vote a lot more like evangelicals do, you know, frankly. So when there's a big difference between sort of cultural Catholics who identify as Catholic but don't necessarily practice the faith, and then actual practicing Catholics, and they obviously vote very differently.
Getting
But the
rewarded,
point is, when we group them all together, they have massively moved toward Trump toward America first. And by the way, also on immigration, because the Catholic bishops have been very, very anti-Trump, very pro-illegal migrant. The Catholics in the pews simply don't believe that. I mean, again, just the election last November, but also all the polling shows that. So it's a significant issue, and it's a fascinating issue. But when people like Colbert and Joe Biden try to wear their Catholicism on their sleeve, I think believing Catholics recognize immediately it's complete hypocrisy. It's not genuine. It's not accurate. And they're trying to do it for either political or media benefits, not from their heart.
If I could have one follow-up on the Catholicism issue, because I do think this is really important, how it manifests in our country. And as I understand it, because again, I'm Jewish, so I'm 1,000 miles away from this, there seems to be a disconnect between global Catholicism and the Catholic Church, and like those at the top, compared to those in America. I don't know, is there a unique brand? Do you feel as though there's a unique brand of American Catholicism, or does it manifest differently than the ways it manifests in South America, or even, I don't know, out in Italy at the Vatican, and how the Pope speaks about these issues? Because writ large, as I understand them, very pro-immigrant sentiment. And, and that's different, as I understand, American Catholics believing as that manifests. So I don't know. Does that make sense there? And
yeah, no,
am I observing a real phenomena?
No, it's an excellent look. When you're talking about a faith with over 1 billion adherents that's truly global, of course, there's a massive amount of diversity and complexity, and a lot of it's geographic. The American practicing American Catholics politically are definitely to the right of most of the hierarchy in Rome. I mean, that's just a fair, objective statement to observe. But it's also fascinating that we now have an American Pope, right, for the first time ever, which I think most American Catholics, most Americans, period, thought was an impossibility, thought could never happen. And he doesn't exactly seem to be right-wing, or I wouldn't call him conservative, but compared to Francis, massively so, right? And certainly not anti-American in any sense. Somebody who came from Chicago, who came from the United States, and loves this country. So it's an interesting moment. And when you have an American Pope, and you have at least the potential for J.D. Vance, our deeply Catholic vice president, to become the president of the United States, perhaps, coming up, it's interesting. There's an American Catholic moment that's pretty historic.
Catholics have come a long way in our country.
Yeah.
Maybe because, I don't know, the history of Catholics here, they used to be persecuted here, so obviously came a long way.
Yeah.
Sorry for you with this. We were pivoted hard there, but.
Yep. Anyway, Stephen Colbert, wow, he's crazy.
Crazy Catholic.
Well, I mean, he's just
Certainly not.
I don't think I mean, you were talking about earlier not judging someone, judging what they believe in their heart and stuff. Look, if you're going to say you're a Catholic, but you don't do the things the Catholics do, then you're not a Catholic. People should be judged by their works, not by their words. It's very easy to give lip service to whatever it is, to a religion or what have you, or to an ideology. But what people do is what they really believe. And if you are
Good night, MC Dilligaff.
You
Sleep
think that
well.
it's important.
We're gonna be here for a minute, chat. We're gonna be doing a little marathon, so it's gonna be fun. All right, so I got to drop 9 cards. So this is gonna be interesting. Legendary creature, human soldier. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever one or more creatures you control with a +1/+1 counter on them deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That sounds really good. I think that goes well with this trample guy right here, right? So the question is, am I splashing black? Right?
Important for abortion to be legal.
What's up, Linda T?
That is not a Catholic. And I'm not even a Catholic.
Pickle
but it's
juice
pretty
helps
easy
with-
to tell.
Let's
With
jump into
blood
this next
clots?
story, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start off by saying this. Israel, as far as it goes with PR in the United States, is cooked. Seth Meyers gets serious in call for U.S. aid to Gaza if even Trump acknowledged their starvation. It's long past time to act. We are appalled by the unspeakable horrors currently unfolding in Gaza. This coming from Late Night with Seth Meyers. And I don't care what you think about the whole issue. What's fascinating to me is that corporate liberal media activism is anti-Israel. Donald Trump is critical of Israel right now on social media. There's a massive spattering of anti-Israel commentary on the rise. And I've been saying this for some time now, but with this to me is the nail in the coffin for pro-Israel sentiment in the United States. I don't see how you recover from corporate left, woke left, and dissident right all being critical of Israel and the minority faction trying to be pro-Israel.
I mean, look, the whole like even if Trump acknowledged their salvation, it kind of fits the leftist narrative about Trump. If he's actually Hitler, siding with Gaza makes more sense than siding with Israel, doesn't it? I mean,
Well, the left siding with Trump is strange.
no, I mean,
This is the point. If Trump does it, it's wrong. This time,
Yes.
Trump is not wrong. Seth Meyers is agreeing with Donald Trump on the issue of Israel. When that happens, and what we're seeing with Gen Z, plus, didn't Charlie Kirk do like some sit down with Gen Z guys about Jews? And I think the narrative is there.
Yeah. No.
This country is. We looked at the Pew Research data. The key demo is anti-Israel, left and right. And now Trump is actually seeing Seth Meyers agree with him.
Yeah. I think where Trump is right now, which I totally understand, is he is seriously pro-Israel, but he's also very frustrated with Netanyahu, which I think is totally understandable and justifiable at this point, right? That Netanyahu has been, at best a difficult ally lately. And I think that's why Trump is where he is. Now, what you're talking about, though, Tim, with Gen Z is, they're not where Trump is. They're actively anti-Israel. It's an entirely different point of view and worldview. And I do think, look, if I were Israel, I'd be concerned about this because the United States is obviously its most key ally. And when you look at young Americans, they are very disaffected with Israel right now. And I think people like Netanyahu need to ask themselves why and how can they try to change that, because they're not only trying to please their own people, but also the United States.
yeah, I mean, look, Israel has done really poorly when it comes to the narrative, the online narrative, kind of whatever you want to call it, about the Gaza war or the situation in Gaza. I personally don't put a lot of credibility.
All right, here we go,
in
chat.
things that are coming
Three-color
out of
deck.
Gaza, because I don't
Maybe a
trust Hamas,
mistake.
and Hamas is still the authority in Gaza, but Israel is
Wish us luck,
definitely
lads.
flattened cities in Gaza. So if you're going to initiate a war like that, you have to be prepared to produce propaganda that supports your position. And Israel has not done that. They've really dropped the ball on that. What do you got to say there, Elad? Come on, I know what you're thinking.
I think despite media narratives and media spins and Hamas and fake news coming out of Hamas, that the Israelis should not be dissuaded from finishing the job in Gaza.
What does it have to do without our money?
With or without our money, I
Yeah,
think.
not agreed. And
Israel needs to finish the job.
and they'll have to do it
in
without
Gaza.
our money. That's the point.
Well, right now they're doing it with our support.
And I'm saying my point is that it's gone. I don't see how this sustains itself when Pew Research puts out this data showing 53% of people in the United States have a negative view of Israel, and it is so I don't know what the right is. It is so extreme that Seth Meyers has said Trump is right. Like when you get liberal late night talk shows being like, wait, Trump's actually right about this. It's like, wow,
At ease.
holy crap.
So, like, if the difference is, good media coverage and your state constantly being at risk, and bad media coverage and security for your state, I think Israelis should pick the latter. It seems as though
Agreed, and then we stop paying for
So-
it. Because when the American people, when the sentiment continues to spoil, this is the point, right? When the sentiment continually goes negative, members of Congress are going to be like, I'm not going to be on their side. I'm going to get blasted in my meetings. So I'll just come out against them. Then when it comes for the vote, look at AOC. She voted to provide defensive funding for Israel, and they attacked her for it. So we are getting very, very close in the next few years to U.S. Congress being like, we are no longer going to risk our seats in Congress for supporting a foreign country.
I may submit to you that may be true. I think polling on this is fickle. I think we're being manipulated by false images that, for example, the New York Times even came out today and described some of their images as being incorrect or putting them up with misleading information about it. But I think Israel should continue fighting its battles despite that. I think there's been a long history.
I hear you, but you're not addressing what we're talking about.
No, I am. I said despite.
The question of whether or not Israel should or shouldn't do something is not the subject.
I think they should do things despite the bad media coverage that they're getting. You're saying that they're losing support in the United States.
My point is that it is now the popular mainstream narrative in the United States that Israel bad.
I don't think that's as true as people in the media will like.
It's there.
You to believe.
I'm not making this up.
It's right
New
there.
Research, 53%.
I mean, this dude is like, this is what you try to tell these people, man. You dug too deep. You dug too long. You awoken the Balrog. You people just won't stop doing stuff like this. What's wrong with these people? Right? Like at the end of the day, what's wrong with these people? Why do you keep messing with people? They can't stop themselves. They just can't.
Negative view of Israel and getting worse to the point where Seth Meyers is agreeing with Donald Trump. You then changing the subject to Israel should continue its war has nothing to do with the content.
No, so despite despite it becoming increasingly partisan of an issue, I think the Israelis should continue to finish their work in Gaza.
In which case, if your argument is that they're putting up fake images or whatever it may be, that means just Israel's losing.
I just don't think that the Israeli government should be swayed by bad media coverage.
Let me ask you this, because I fully agree that Israel should do whatever it thinks it needs to do in its national security and its defense. Of
Zionist.
Citizens, right? Absolutely. But the state of Israel.
Yeah, in its defense, it has the right to exist. So do other people.
Israel has now existed, the modern state of Israel, for 80 years. Should it continue to receive benefits and aid from the United States when the average Israeli lives better than the average American right now? This is a sophisticated, wealthy country. Aren't they capable now of standing on their own 2 feet and handling their own security without American charity, essentially?
So I'll answer that in a very honest way.
Yeah.
That'll be a first.
Some odd years, we have been significantly supporting the state of Israel, but it's existed the 40 years prior to that without our support, actually, from originally support from the USSR. And I will say, I will push back against the Israelis are living better than us Americans. We don't have socialized healthcare in America because socialized healthcare is actually bad for people. People don't get good coverage through their socialized medicine. People in Israel, I know we like to say that we don't want. Wait, if I can finish,
sure.
We don't want Americans dying in Israel. I know you didn't say that, but that's a common sentiment. I feel like it's so ironic, given it's one of our only allies that actually has a military draft and actually routinely fights their own battle. People in the military, the Navy, in the Army in the United States actually respect that of Israelis, that they actually do fight their own wars. So we give benefits to a lot of different countries, and I think people tend to single out Israel for one reason or another. We currently have 30-some-odd Americans sitting as cannon fodder right now in South Korea. Their sole purpose is there to be cannon fodder. The same thing in Germany.
By the way,
I don't know.
say
Why
the
should
same
we go
about
down
both those countries? Yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean, well, I just respond to that by saying I think Americans benefit immensely from both soft and hard power. We are the global shot callers, and it's to the benefit of Americans. And I feel like it really embodies the American spirit, too. I think American hegemony is good, and if American hegemony retracts, it's going to be other communist Chinese influences or Russian influence.
Oh, we got to stay and fight all over the world, otherwise communism. Dude, have you looked around, bro? Communism's it's right here. It's already in our country, dude. Quit the cope. This little frickin' Zionist apologist. Bagel.
Or Islamist influences that fills the gap, is my wider perspective.
I think over the past couple of years, there's been a narrative battle happening in the United States on the issue largely of Israel, and Israel's been losing. It's been getting beaten, mercilessly in this narrative machine, and that's it. I predicted 10 years, especially with Gen Z's view of Israel. There's not going to be any more foreign spending for this country.
I think there's such a contradiction between the far left that hates Israel and the far right that also dislikes Israel, because they hate Israel for so many different reasons. The far left in our country largely hates Israel, as I understand, because they view Israel and Israelis and Jews as white people, and they view the Palestinians as brown, and they project their racial biases onto the Israeli conflict as such. And that's really all they see. There's also like this socialist tinge of the far left socialists believing that Jews are landlords and inherently privileged, and then being against Jews writ large for that purpose. And then on the far right, they hate Jews or hate the state of Israel for totally different reasons. They're not projecting any racial,
what about Seth Meyers?
I don't know why Seth Meyers is. I don't even know what he actually said on the issue.
The narrative is that Israel is starving Gazans.
Dove says, I saw a YouTube channel that was tasting everything at Sonic, and they had a pickle meal, including a drink that had balls like bubbles tea with pickle juice in them. Okay, when it comes to pickles, I prefer dill over sweet or bread and butter, unless they are those tiny pickles, like the gherkins or whatever they call them.
Well,
And
I
so
think,
they need humanitarian aid because Israel's cut off their access to food.
look, I think that Islamists are really good at manipulating impressionable Westerners. I think Hamas knows exactly what they're doing.
And
with-
Israel's really bad at countering it.
No, I think that Hamas is willing to use dead children for their political gain. They actually want
Wow.
more dead children
Pope is, like,
to
big
occur.
time
They
here.
want to hide behind these people, so when they inevitably do get attacked, that they could parade these dead bodies around. I think it's actually disgusting, and it might set the stage for future enemies of our country trying to use these tactics. It's disgusting.
Sure. But my point is that Israel seemingly is incapable of defending itself from these psyops.
Oh,
I mean, if Israel is losing this war right now, then I don't know what, winning.
Again, we're talking about media optics in the United States, and we're talking about the President of the United States agreeing we need food banks set up in Gaza because of what Israel's doing. He says he's fed up with Netanyahu. Seth Meyers agrees with him. The point is, they've lost you're calling it a fake campaign and propping up dead bodies. So if it's a psyop, they've been defeated.
I think that Islamists are effectively manipulating impressionable Westerners. Yeah, and it's a big issue.
you think it's just Islamists?
I think those are the people in the Middle East who are manipulating those sentiments. Yeah, very cynically. And I think Western liberals are very easily manipulated, frankly.
Yeah, I do think you have a point about Hamas. Like, Hamas is not where you should be getting your information about the war in
Well, these are just poor brown people that white people are abusing, and then these self-loathing white liberals.
Hold on. That's broadly a leftist perspective. That's not so much about the Islamists or Hamas. Hamas globs onto that narrative because it's effective in the West. But if they were talking to people that aren't in the West, they just call
Yes,
they just
we
call
won
them
our first
Jews
match.
demons.
Awesome.
Like if you're talking to people in Kazakhstan or
We
whatever,
did it.
because there's a lot of places where Israel and Jewish people are looked at as the bad guy. I mean, you look at the joke in Borat, throw the Jew down the well that you see in the song. Like that's something that's all over the world, and the way that they use the narrative in the U.S. is
9:45. What do you mean? Oh, what time? Like, is that an hour from now? Like, East Coast, Mountain, Western? Give me how many minutes there, buddy? How many minutes, boot? Got to say, what time zone? Central. So that's like right now. Oh no, I thought it said 10:45. Hey Siri, set timer for 10:42. All right, Boot. We got a timer set. We're going to tune in and we're going to watch your show. I will encourage people to go to your channel if that's what you'd like, or if they want to stay here and watch from my channel, that's fine as well, I guess. Let me see. What do we got here? Let's put a forest down.
one thing, but to them, it's not about any kind of political or that kind of dynamic at all. So.
I want to jump to this. We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. When the show first launched, we mentioned there was an 8.0 earthquake near Russia, and that there was a tsunami, not a warning at the time, but what do they have it listed as? I forgot what the issue was. It wasn't a warning, but now we've got a tsunami watch for Alaska, and they've upgraded the earthquake to an 8.7.
It's big.
So my understanding is an 8.7 is exponentially larger than 8.0. Fox Weather says parts of Alaska are under tsunami warnings, while the entire U.S. West Coast and the state of Hawaii are under tsunami watches after a monster 8.7 earthquake struck off the east coast of Russia.
Yeah, talking about it right now.
From Space Weather News, you know him, you love him, Ben Davidson.
Oh, be careful
after
out there.
A magnitude 8 earthquake near Kamchatka a few minutes ago, the entire North Pacific
Kamchatka is near Japan, guys.
Is vibrating. Yo, this is crazy. And then, of course, this breaking news came in just about 20 minutes ago.
Stay safe.
USGS has upgraded it to an 8.7. Grok says the magnitude scale is logarithmic. An 8.7 earthquake releases 11 times more energy than an 8, with ground motion roughly 5 times stronger, making it significantly more destructive, especially for tsunamis and damage in populated areas. So this is absolutely insane. And I hope everybody's paying attention because, again, it was like an alert earlier for Hawaii, and now it's a watch. And for Alaska, it's a warning. So that sounds like they're saying we're seeing it coming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it comes to Hawaii, I think it's something like 6 hours to get from where the epicenter of the earthquake was until Hawaii. So we won't know if there's, significant repercussions in Hawaii, but it will be obviously significantly shorter in Alaska. Which,
Yeah. So yeah, it was an advisory at first, but it's been upgraded to a warning. So I hope everybody, if you're in the Aleutians, if you're in the area, please pay attention.
Yeah, and if I understand correctly, and the chat will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure, but if I understand correctly, watches are when it's possible. Warning is when they've seen an actual tsunami. So there is one going to the Aleutians now.
Let's play this clip.
If you've been with us,
here we go.
Of an earthquake. If you've been with us, I was trying to explain this. This animation tells you a whole lot more. But how the plates move, how the seafloor moves, that's going to dictate how much displacement of water there is, how much water is moved, and how big of a tsunami could be generated. We've seen at times, I was trying to think back to when that was. I think it was in the Western Caribbean or Southern Gulf. We had a fairly high magnitude earthquake. It didn't produce a tsunami because it was a strike slip. It was rock sliding horizontally
is this an old,
across
this is a video
each other,
from the old story?
and there's no vertical displacement of water in that setting. So I was wondering, was this scenario like that? It appears not. This would be more of a normal earthquake fault where some of the rock itself shifted up, some of it shifted down in that fault. There's the displacement of water, and that wave propagates out from where the earthquake happened.
Yeah, that was, I believe this
finds its way closer to land.
That video is from the Alaska earthquake, not from the current earthquake. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a cultural, political news event that we normally jump into, but I thought it was important considering this is 8.7 ain't no joke.
Yeah, it's a big earthquake. When I was in Japan in 2011 for the Fukushima, or the earthquake that hit Fukushima, that was a 9.0, and I mean 20,000 people died in Sendai alone. Wow. So it was massive.
You were in Japan when that went down?
I was in Japan in 2011, in March 2011 when that happened. Yeah,
wow,
it's crazy.
Was it scary where you were?
I was in Tokyo, so where we were, it was about a 5.5. But it shook the whole building, and I mean, we were in probably on the 6th or 7th floor doing sound check before the show. My tour manager sticks his head in, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy, but like, we're in Japan. It's the Ring of Fire. They build the buildings, to withstand this kind of stuff. I was like, if there's a problem, one of the Japanese guys will come and they'll let us know. And just as I was saying that, a Japanese guy came around the corner. He was like, we got to get out of here. And so we all start hauling out, and everybody basically filtered out into the street, and we're all kind of standing around for, I don't know, a couple hours. We had just maybe an hour or so before, hour and a half, something like that, gotten off the bullet train, and we heard that the bullet train derailed, and a lot of people on that particular train died and stuff. And so we really
this is big, actually. This earthquake may be the 8th or 9th largest earthquake in recorded history.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean,
so the 10th biggest is an 8.6. In 2012, part of a lesser-known cluster of large Sumatra events. Number 9 is Assam, Tibet, massive Himalayan region quake. It was an 8.6 or 8.7. So, and 8, Rat Island in the Aleutians in 1965 was an 8.7. So this ties for eighth biggest earthquake in recorded history.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's no joke. That an 8.7 is really huge.
Wow.
Hope everybody in Hawaii gets to somewhere safe and follows all local news direction. I hope they are able to get the message despite NPR's defunding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's jump.
Wow, what a fucking retard, dude. I mean, way to straight up. Wow. Really, dude? What a cunt. Sorry, ladies. What a cunt. What a cunt.
Jump to the next story here. We've got this from the Post Millennial. Shane Tamura went up the wrong elevator bank in an attempt to target NFL offices in mass shooting. Now, the official narrative has not been determined as to why this man, I believe he's half black, half Japanese, why he carried out these shootings. Though they claim they found a letter in his pocket that said that he was upset with the NFL. Additionally, there have been some activists that pointed out the address in question he went to, the Blackstone building, was the target of Globalize the Intifada activists over the past several years. He didn't go to the NFL floor. He went to the Blackstone floor, and he shot and killed an executive with Blackstone, and as well as injuring an NFL employee. So the conspiracy theory that we're seeing online is, in fact, his motivation was the anti-Israel protests. His motivation was the growing Intifada protest movement. It was, Zoran Mamdani, who has said globalize the Intifada. And I'm going to stress this because everyone gets so partisan on this one. I'm not saying this to be pro or anti. I don't care. The point is, there's a question as to whether or not it makes more sense that this guy was blaming the NFL, who he's never interacted with, or if he was going to Blackstone, targeting Blackstone for financial activist reasons or for Israeli activist reasons. And I'll give you a few examples. The New York Times published this in May 6th. Blackstone president donates $125 million to Israeli medical school, the largest in Tel Aviv University history.
Chat. Absinthe. We're doing it with Absinthe. White, green, and black, chat. We're doing it. We're doing the dizzle. We're 2-0, chat. We're climbing up. We're gold tier 4. Kind of feel like I need some cheesy puffs to celebrate with some cheesy puffs. What do y'all think? Let's do that. All right, chat. 2-0. I like it. I like it. I want more of it.
And one of the individuals who was killed, a Jewish philanthropist, Wesley Lepatner, 43, was named as a victim. Now, it is true that an NFL employee was seriously injured and is critical. Online, there's speculation that the true motivation was the anti-Israel sentiment. I'm curious what you guys think. I'll start it off just by saying, I was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, so what do you think happened? And I'm like, I don't know of any large movements against the NFL to take weapons and go to their offices and hurt them. So it's strange that a crazy person would do that. But it's if they were to come out and say his motivation was Israel criticism or Israel genocide or Intifada, we'd go, of course, because of the wave of protest. We had the 2 embassy employees who were killed already. That lines up perfectly with the actions that he took. The NFL one does not.
Yeah, look, all the information that I've seen was that he was mentally ill, that he had CTE. Those things are the actual reasons that I've seen. So I don't think that this was, obviously anytime someone goes and does a mass shooting, you're questioning their attachment to reality. But this seems pretty clear that it wasn't motivated by any kind of political stuff. It's
Why?
Pardon me?
How is it clear?
Because he actually wrote out what he was actually.
Yeah, according to the reporting, he blamed the NFL for his CTE because he played football. Now, he also played 2 years of high school football, okay? So, that's a ludicrous notion. But if he's mentally ill, maybe he believes that, right? And
maybe believe that there was actually a note in his pocket that said, I blame the NFL?
Right. We don't know, clearly, right?
I'm just,
let me ask you this. Why does he need that cover then, effectively, if there was
believe that he actually killed anyone? We saw it on the internet.
So, I'm leaning towards crazy people do crazy things, However, the online theorists, and I want to stress this too because they haven't released an official motive. This is not a formalized declaration by law enforcement. Eric Adams just said they found a note in his pocket that says you can't go up against the NFL or whatever. But the theory is this guy was directly targeting Blackstone, a powerful financial organization with investments in tons of corporations that has been routinely called out for jacking up the price of homes as one of the largest global holdings of real estate. The offices that this man went to was Blackstone and a real estate holding office, and the woman that he shot was part of their real estate investment group. When you look at all of the pieces to the theory about this being targeting Blackstone, the pieces there's a lot of okay, that makes sense. When you look at NFL, it's like the only explanation is he was crazy. And quite possibly true. Quite possibly true. The argument is that if they were to come out and say this guy was motivated by Globalize the Intifada, one, it's damaging to Zoran Mamdani, over that whole fiasco because he refused to denounce it.
I agree,
And
Dove.
there's fears that it would launch copycats because of the massive online sentiment against Israel and Jews right now.
We are in the age of vigilante justice because the information's
From the left, but
Yeah,
large.
yeah,
We're in
from the
era
left.
of vigilante justice. People feel confident shooting at healthcare CEOs or Pennsylvania governors or Minneapolis politicians or whatnot. And it's kind of a choose your own narrative here. You could make this story whatever you want it to be. There's so many different angles where you could say there's so many different interests at play. The NFL definitely doesn't want us to talk about how CTE is common throughout football players, and like banging your head against one another probably isn't the healthiest thing to do. And that's coming from a former JV football player. And like, I don't know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell me that, hey, if we bang our heads together really hard and fast and repetitively, that it could probably scramble your brains a little bit. Politically, it would be damaging for the globalize the Intifada people. It could just be, I mean, it's pick your conspiracy. It could be the FBI just sent somebody in to try to make some more anti-gun legislation. So it's really difficult.
Yeah, but let me first. The reason why I think this is worth discussing is that we don't know his motivation.
Well, it's allegedly he had an alleged note.
There is no official formal declaration of motivation. The law enforcement has not come out. This is what I find fascinating is you guys are citing media reports from unnamed sources.
I mean, I'm citing media. I'm citing the stuff that I've read.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's just as likely as like that he might be a pro-Palestine guy.
Sure. And my point is, you said it seems likely that he was motivated by the NFL. It's like, well, they haven't released his motive yet.
I said seems likely because of the fact that I've seen stuff that there was a note in his pocket. So that to me seems likely because he went to go to the NFL.
He didn't though. So here's my issue: a guy shows up to Blackstone's building, kills a Blackstone executive, goes to Blackstone's real estate floor, shoots shoots at people on Blackstone's floor, and then some unnamed sources say he was mad at football, and everyone's like, that explains it. And I'm like, wait, hold on, what's going on here?
I think Tim might be onto something here. All right. Hold on, we gotta go watch Boot Productions. We'll come back to Tim in a second, guys. Hold on. You wish you were me. I know it. I can see. Oh, you wish you were. Oh, you wish you were. You wish you were me. But you're not. Is it going to be on Boot or is it going to be on Brain Rot? Oh, there it is. Kick the can. I love it. Let's see. That's game. Good game. Let me see. I love it. All right, here we go. You guys ready for this? Oh, yeah. Giggity, giggity, giggity. He's a fag. What was that? What was that? What was that, Mr. Soprano? He's a fag. Who says that? How dare you say that? I'm just saying. All right, we're 2-1. That's all right. Can't all be winners, chat. They can't all be winners.
A guy went to a Blackstone office, killed a Blackstone executive, got in an elevator up to the Blackstone 32nd and 33rd floors, was shooting.
I'm just playing the other video until Boot Production starts. Boot's got a show going on here. I'm staying here, but if anyone wants to go hit the like button for Boot and say hi, go for it. Absolutely.
Employees of their real estate division, and then the media
Dove's got to keep her eye on the resident fag in the channel.
launched these unnamed sources, and I'm being told that it's the NFL. And I'm like, well, law enforcement hasn't put out his motivation yet. If the cops come out and say we found evidence to conclude that this guy was just a crazy guy with CTE who was targeting the NFL, I'll say, yeah, okay. I mean, I'll lean a little bit in that direction because that's at least what we're hearing somewhat. But if we look at what it was reported that he did, he killed a Blackstone executive.
Yeah, I mean, he must be a vegan too. He's really fat, like somebody else we know who's a vegan. Allegedly. Allegedly. I think somebody's lonely. I guess their grinder date didn't call him back. Seems to be.
What's up, guys? It's Boot Body Cam / Boot Production / whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me late for dinner. Looks like StreamYard got another update, so I lost even more features. Yippee-yay. So we went with the old vintage minute pacer, if you will. That being said, though, guys, this is not going to be a long live stream. I know I say that on almost every one of them, and they end up going pretty long. But this one's probably going to stretch about an hour. So that being said, GS, appreciate you for being in here. He said, I am your biggest fan. Appreciate that. So usually 98% of all my live streams is just me talking shit, basically. And I'm not saying that's not going to happen at all, any point during this live stream. But I would say that I'm going to make more observations than anything else. So
go over and say hi. Go over and hit that like button for him. Say hi. Yap some more. Say something in the chat.
I want to talk about, and I don't
Do
know what
it.
the mental complex is, but I want to figure out what makes you in your late 70s, early 80s, and drives you to
Do it.
Instead of living like a normal life, like most people your age.
You don't have to.
Just kind of kicking back, going on vacation, hanging out in the garden, sitting on the front porch. What gets you wrapped up with a bunch of felons who are
Damn it.
causing a
Went
ruckus?
too fast, chat. I blew
So
it.
with that being said, we're gonna pay some attention to this little video right here. And this is the craziest phenomenon ever. 70-plus-year-old man who is crying and making a huge dramatic
Oh, it's
scene
hilarious.
for views on
Shaky
YouTube.
hands, Cliff.
So let's get it kicked off.
Right now!
Right
Get off of him!
now!
Get away from him! Stop it!
Do it now!
We're on a public. We're out in public. You sons of bitches! We are in public. He can do whatever the hell he wants in public. You have no authority here. None.
He can do whatever the hell he wants here in public. Damn it, because it's public. He could do whatever he wants. He could go piss on that dude down there. This guy, he could go up and he could piss on his leg. It's not my cursor's not highlighting for some reason, but
Thank you, Dove. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I didn't do that. My bad.
we'll put that right there. Anyway, though, but yeah. So according to Mr. Santa over here, this really scrawny individual who wears like the same clothes every single day without changing them, he can do whatever he wants because he's in public. So let's see where it goes from here.
Live. We are live on YouTube right now.
We are live on the YouTubes right now.
Thugs attacked.
Thugs.
Man, they attacked him. Well, hold on. Let's go back to the beginning. You caught that, right? Right, Santa?
Right now. Get off of him. Get away from him. Stop it.
They attacked him. Oh, wow.
Run a pub.
Looks like they went to go arrest him, and he decided he was going to play ragdoll and drop to the ground. Let's go back real quick. Let's look at that one more time.
Right now. Get off of him. Get away from him. Stop it.
Ragdolls to the ground.
Run a public. We're out in public.
What's up, Bill?
You sons of bitches. We are in public. He can do whatever the hell he wants in public. You have no authority here. None.
This is not going well for me, chat.
Live. We are live on YouTube right.
That's great that they're both live right now, guys. That's really helping press harder. It's helping him so much.
Now.
As
Live
you
on
can tell
YouTube.
it, as they say, we're live on YouTube. The handcuffs just slowly dissipate away, and there's absolutely
That's
nothing
game, man.
holding.
Yeah, I got
us down.
whooped. I didn't get any green
And
mana.
these thugs
These
attacked
thugs.
people.
Thugs.
Good luck. You better leave him alone. Get those cuffs off him.
And I apologize, audience. That was not a man walking down the street. That was, in fact, an old lady. So, yeah, I mean, you could just piss on that old lady, right? You know, Santa, he's out in public. He can do whatever he wants.
Him right now. You already messed up. Bad. Real bad.
You fucked up really, really bad.
We're not interfering. Speech is not interference. You dumb sons of bitches. We're on a public sidewalk.
Yeah, I'll get on a public.
I'll get over here. You're going to carry him everywhere.
I guess press harder doesn't weigh very much. I mean, to be fair, he looks like he's kind of skin and bones, man. I always thought he was like a bigger guy, but no, I'll tell you what, man, he's a small little dude.
We're on a public sidewalk.
Yeah, I'll get on a public.
I'll get over here. You're going to carry him everywhere you go.
Picked up like a baby.
And the jail is going to be pissed.
This is the apocalyptic nightmare you're in. Zombies approaching. You
Zombies
and two
approaching
others
from
rush into a
everywhere.
dilapidated
Fire
cabin.
shit.
You fucked up. You fucked up. I'm back far enough. I'm not interfering with your business.
Your
You
business.
fucking thugs.
You thugs.
Once again, guys, so to be 70, 80 years old, like, wouldn't you at that point have a hold on. There you go. Wouldn't you have like a wife at home who would be like worried about you and probably talk you out of doing this? I mean, it's like one
Okay.
thing when you're actually
I
doing
don't
some
think
like
I'm going to win this
activism
one.
and you're recording the activism for, you know, illegal repercussions versus
Yeah,
what,
exactly. He's a
you're
piece of
yelling
crap.
at these cops. Like, you're literally doing it, Santa, just for theatrics, because they're not intimidated by you. They see you shaking / waddling over there, yelling, and they know, oh,
That was like the dumbest.
You fucked up big time. You're going to pay.
Uh-oh.
You're
Lieutenant
going to lose your
Dan.
qualified immunity. Wow. You better get
while you've got Josh in the back. that was real dumb. That was real dumb. That's rich coming from you, Josh.
the cuffs off of him. Because
yeah,
you are nothing. He hasn't committed a crime. I'll guarantee it.
You'll guarantee
no
it.
crime.
Oh,
Bullshit.
obstruction.
We can talk. All we
You got hemmed up.
fucking want.
I told you to get away from my traffic stop.
We weren't near your traffic stop.
I asked you to stay.
All right, so this was from 4 weeks ago, guys. I'm going to kind of swing out here because this is one of the observations I wanted to make right here. 4 weeks ago. Here, we got to take down. Does it show it? Why is it not showing it? Here we go. 4 weeks ago. All right. Nope. what Press Harder is wearing. He's wearing like a
The
white
same
shirt,
shit he always wears.
a leather Peter Pan vest.
You can ask all you want. I can ask you for $5. I can ask you to kiss my ass.
And cargo pants. Remember that guy.
I can ask all I want.
All right, so let's get the check off, guys. Hat, aviators, white shirt, Peter Pan leather vest, cargo pants.
Just like you can ask, but you can't demand. No, you can't. Oh, for officer safety, you're going to pull that card again, huh? Yeah, we saved the people that you had stopped.
Whoa, guys,
Yeah,
I just
whatever.
realized, look, this is in Washington County, Maryland. Where's Tav at? Like, why wasn't Tav with them? I'm sure Kevin being there would have made everything so much better. I mean, if Kevin was there, it'd probably be him in cuffs and not Press Harder. And that's the thing, is they'd actually have to wrestle Kevin because Kevin's a big boy. Press Harder, he looks like a sheet of loose leaf paper.
Lay
man.
down, Shadow.
I mean, I'm actually kind of worried about him. Like, I truly had thought he was a bigger guy. And
Why am I not getting any fucking white mana? Oh, this is pissing me off,
like
dude.
if Cliff took Ozempic.
Look at this shit,
Like a
guys.
lot.
Look at this. Look. A whole handful of white, not a fucking single plains. Oh, this is pissing me off.
But we can help you. You're in a lot of trouble right now. You just don't understand it yet.
They're in so much
What
trouble.
is your name and badge number?
Guys, they're in so much trouble because Santa said so. Santa said, you guys are in trouble. You guys are on the naughty list. No presents for you. Officer,
This is
that
ridiculous.
fleshlight that you thought you were getting?
Fuck off. Fuck
not making it
off.
through anymore.
Fuck all the way off.
Officer. What is your name and badge number? I can't hear you. Deputy
What's up,
George.
Giggles?
Washington
Oh, this is
County
pissing me
Sheriff's
off
Office.
so bad right now.
And what's your
Fucking
badge
bullshit,
number?
dude. 2-0 to fucking 3 losses in a row.
Yes, we'd like you to scream so we can hear you.
Back up! Is that better? Back up to the edge there where you're going to. That's how it's
Such bullshit. Go lay down.
Badge number.
Lay down.
0020. So the edge of it. Yes.
Where?
Stop staring at me.
The edge of
Fucking
the parking
creepy.
spot.
You know, what you'll never see, guys, is you'll see people like Santa make these videos, make the theatrics and the dramatics out of it so that he can hopefully get some sympathy, likes, and subs. And in the meantime, if he's claiming these officers did so much bad, such wrong, promise you there will be zero follow-up. Like, he will never put out him filing complaints, the result of those complaints, any of that, because it's not about what they try to make it seem about. How many times have you seen these supposed rights fighters and these online heroes, like just look at Press, just look at BSBT, just look at Ryder. I mean, these are just the individuals. They're not called heroes. They're called grifters. Welcome, KTZ. Thank you for being here.
Is this okay? How about this?
Can I go
Is this all right too? We can go space. We can do whatever we want. This is a free country the last I checked.
Holy shaky hands.
Yes, we can do whatever we want, guys. It's a free country. We can do whatever we want. That's not the way it works, though. So, all right.
If I can go side to side. Bring the circus here. What's the
Yeah, you brought the circus.
Dang, guys, we got the white T-shirt gang over here.
Here, right here. You brought the circus, buddy. You brought the circus. You fucked up. You brought the circus.
Saying the dumbest things anybody can say right now. Dumber than anything I've ever recorded in my life.
Except for almost any video you've ever put out, Josh. You are the epitome of an idiot.
And I've recorded a
You're going to be fucking famous.
from public service.
Fucking famous.
Good luck, guys. don't know the fight. You don't know where you just started.
You don't know who he is, and you're not going to know who he is. He will not talk to you. He's in cuffs.
Yeah, and supposedly whenever Press was held up in the pokey, he wouldn't eat either, which, I mean, I don't think it's a smart idea considering his current health. He probably should be eating, you know.
They should be nervous about the cameras and what they're doing right now.
Right.
We just caught them doing.
Yeah, we just caught.
I'll tell you what, though, guys, this does look like this was probably like a pretty hot and a humid day. And I'm just really curious because I think Santa's tried using the excuse before that he's just so old, so elderly and sensitive, like a piece of fragile china glass. And he has such a hard time maneuvering, and he has such a problem with dexterity. But it's like, I don't know, man. You know, you're kind of out here fucking around. Just gonna say that right off the bat. So I don't really buy half of your little guilt trips you try to throw out there to get people to feel sorry for you.
I'm breaking the law. Title 18, Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law.
Ooh, let's cite the most known one.
What was your name?
And you assaulted him, and now you're kidnapping him. Those will be added to your charges, gentlemen.
136911. That's what you said.
I promise you those cops got zero charges for that. Because we all know that, to be fair, an officer can beat the living shit out of you, and 9 times out of 10, there's no repercussion. Because that's the way the system is set up. Never said the system was perfect. I'm just saying that these idiots, they definitely accentuate the problem. Like, they create a problem, they drive it home, and then they fucking dramatize the whole thing. When in reality, they were supposedly the same people that started off trying to focus on others people's actual true injustices and taking those stories and looking further into them. Now it's just all about rage baiting, making sure you get a chance to yell at an officer when you know he's probably not going to do anything to you because you look like Santa Claus.
We want to hear you say it. We're too far back. We can't hear you.
Spell your last name for me, too. Spell it. I don't need to teach you a grammar lesson how to spell it. Spell it for us. Deputy He's right here.
Right here. Who's your cousin? Right there?
He did right here. He did the right here. Who's your supervisor, guys? Get the supervisor out.
Get the supervisor out here now.
Yeah, I'm tired of dealing with underlings. We need a supervisor. We need a supervisor.
We need a supervisor on the scene right now. These guys have just kidnapped.
We're demanding. Look at how disgusting they are.
They are.
Well, what are you demanding, Josh? The last time I checked, you were literally running from the cops in the cold, hopping from hotel to motel, just trying to make it because you choose to be a piece of shit, I guess. I don't know, bud. I guess it's your story. You tell it how you want. So, but yeah, that's what I thought too. You being kidnapped? No, he's being arrested. You may not agree with the arrest, and you know, in the end, it is his right to sit there and dramatize all he wants. Walk the line and possibly get slammed in the pokey as well. But like I said, Santa knows. He's old enough to know the boundaries he can stretch to try to make it seem like he's got a video where he's just such a tough ass, badass freedom fighter, just here for everyone's rights. Because #America.
Very disgusting. Very. And that's the way it's going to be. Get the cuffs off or get your supervisor here so he can get the cuffs off because you've just illegally arrested a man. Illegally.
You guys know what unlawful detainment is?
Illegally.
Very unlawful. You're hurting him. You're hurting him. You're hurting him.
God, these people are such ass
He
clowns.
doesn't fake it either. You're hurting him.
Oh!
Yeah, you're trying to make him need an ambulance? You stupid cocksucker.
Ooh,
Oh my fucking God. Look at that shit.
that was pretty
Look
aggro.
at that. And we are live on YouTube right now. Live. Look what they're doing to him. And making us stay back.
Pieces of shit.
Pieces of shit. Get in your feels.
Oh my God.
Bitches.
That's hilarious. If there's anybody in their feels, Santa, I think it's you who's sitting there and screaming, you're hurting him, you're hurting him. You know, Santa, I'm pretty sure that that homeless dude they're stuffing in the back of the squad car is his own man, and he can probably talk for himself. So, but let's go back. That's hilarious. You want to talk about the feels? Let's go back and review how you are acting to where then you psychotically go, but you guys are all in your feels.
Shit. Pieces of shit. Get in your feels.
Oh my God.
Bitches. You fucking bitches.
Hey, the new guy on the scene, will you come here, please? I'd like to talk to you. We can stay 6
We
feet
can't come up
apart
there.
from each other. Yeah, I can't come closer to you. You're violent.
Thugs
gang
there.
members. They've been doing all the kidnapping and escalation here. We need somebody.
Share this out, guys. Share it out now. Share it to everyone that you can get in touch with. All across the world.
It's funny. KT said, I've seen a grown man's leg broken in 3 places and still not cry like this. Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, KT said. When you're dividing
That's a fact.
real men up from, the little bussy boys, interactions like this will always kind of be the determining factor, right? You've got, just face it, you've got shaky hands Santa right here. He's mid to late 70s, early 80s. Not in the best health, definitely very overweight. Seems like it's a pretty hot day. What's he doing? Like, ooh, I got a live stream that got 300 views on my 176 sub channel. Like, where's the exchange rate at, Cliff? Where's the exchange rate, bud?
World Wide Web.
Where's the supervisor?
Where's the supervisor? We want a supervisor right now.
You just kidnapped somebody off the street. You just kidnapped somebody. We need a supervisor.
I love how he tries to the World Wide Web, the internet. It came out when I was 30.
Right now.
He will not talk to you. He's in cuffs.
But you won't shut up, Cliff.
Hey,
He does not assist in his own kidnapping.
Then you're gonna try to hit me with a crime, man. They're fine, man. They've got guns. They've got tasers. There's 2 of them.
And he's got handcuffs on. Nothing's going to happen.
They're scared.
So if you guys are curious on who the little annoying Weasley sounding guy in the back is, I could actually help you all with that real quick. Give me a quick moment. Let's see. Stop screen. Share screen. Here we go. So the little guy who's yelling in the back, it's him right here. This is Josh right here. Yeah. See if I can zoom in on that a little bit for you guys. Press charter. Dude, I'll tell you what, they lifted him up like a little toddler, bro. No problem at all. Just the one guy too. But yeah, so this is Josh right here. Josh doesn't have the front, I don't know if those are the front 2 teeth or those are the front 3 or 4 possibly. But I'm starting to think maybe there was something a little bit more going on with with Santa, Taco Bell boy, and BSBT, because I mean, I'm not trying to give Press Harder or Cliff any credit, but dude, I bet you if I got a summer sausage and I put it right up in that gap, it would align perfectly. And I'm not going to say your teeth got knocked out by one of your buddies, in a weird way, but just saying, you know, can neither confirm nor deny. So, but yeah, that's Josh. This was the guy who was so eager to try and dox a picture of what he thought is me. And what's funny is, look at this dude though. Like, look at those teeth, bro. Oh god, dude, it's so bad that it won't even let my shit zoom in anymore. It's like, nope, sorry. It's like being too big and stepping on like 150-pound max scale. It's just like error, error, error. But yeah. So let's do this. Get back to where we were at. There we go. Hey CJ, hey Navy girl.
Share this out.
Hey
Everyone,
Maddie, what's
share
up?
this out.
Hey
All
Linda.
across the world. Share it out. People has just been kidnapped. Freedom of speech is a myth. They'll charge you with disorderly conduct.
Right, freedom of speech is a myth, even though you were just motherfucking them, telling them they were criminals, all this other shit, causing a huge scene. Yet, did they arrest you, Santa? Oh, nope, they didn't arrest you. So, you know, that's the thing, guys, is I love how, you know, okay, so a lot of these so-called auditors will try to say, it's crazy how the cops will just lie on camera. And it is crazy. There are a lot of cops who do exactly just that. But I would say that there's the same phenomenon you see with the people who are most of the time making this footage as well. They are also doing the same thing. They are also fucking lying. They are also trying to spin a narrative because they think they have such a narcissistic, deep-rooted fucking insecurity, and they don't understand that just because you think you're smarter than everybody else doesn't mean that you can try to spin the narrative based off the way you record your perspective of it.
Interference is a myth when you're speaking. Interference is a physical act, you dumb fucking deputy cops.
You dumb employed poo-poo head buttheads nerd dolphins.
But yeah, we're going to give him the ride anyway. He's going to give you a ride. You're going to ride him all over the place. He's the king.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, jeez. He's the king.
Caught it, guys. So,
swore allegiance.
That they're going to ride his buddy. He's like, you guys going to ride him all over the place. You know, I'm the only one who rides Press Harder, damn it. I'm the only one who rides my buddy.
He's going to give you a ride. You're going to ride him all over the place. He's the king.
They just immediately went full tyrant, like full tyrannical. They don't want folks documenting their traffic stops, and then they got mad when we were documenting the traffic stop and we wouldn't just go away when they wanted us to go away.
Yep.
And they're so used to getting their way with the guns on their hips right there. See those guns right there?
Yep.
They're so used to that commanding respect, but it doesn't anymore. We actually respect you less because you have to use that fucking gun on the side of your hip.
Force.
You got to do that.
Do what we tell you to do. Let me see your papers. You ain't going to get papers.
He's sitting there right now ignoring me right now.
Yeah.
He's just ignoring me, pretending like he can't hear any of this, right? What's up, Jeannie? Appreciate you being in here. Paris Logan. You guys are watching
Stephanie Jenks, good to see you.
Names and badge numbers. Well, we need the new guys. We got the other two dogs.
We still need a supervisor on the scene.
Supervisor on the scene.
Supervisor. Supervisor.
Are you guys done with your traffic stuff? Okay.
Yeah, so we can move forward onto the public sidewalk.
He's pretending to be a fucking little baby.
He's a bitch. We want a supervisor here right now because they're kidnapping this guy.
So Gia said, Josh is insufferable. Navy Girl said, Josh is a joke. KTZ said, hey Josh, if you weren't a criminal, you too could have a gun on your hip. That's very true. I mean, if Josh didn't get kicked out for blowing meth and getting zooted back in the Marines, Josh could be a highly decorated individual and officer right now. Like, could you imagine that? Could you imagine? But no, instead, Josh decided, hey, I want to play YouTube activist. And that's the thing is, I could understand if like he actually got the views and subs he should for the size his channel appears to be. But that's the thing. It's like he has a dead channel. Like he literally lives off of one short and one video that he posted like 3 years ago. And one of them he stole. I'm pretty sure he stole. Like it's not even his video. All right, guys, let's listen to Santa cry a little bit more before I move on to the next one.
I can't hear all three. I can't. Buddy, I literally just got it. So on the loud on the side. What did you think of what you just saw? They literally just said I arrested you on that. What did you think about what you saw when you showed up? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, Dove.
All right, we need to go to the Washington County Sheriff's Office.
I agree, J. Drool. They are cringe as F. Absolutely. Navy girl said no from the police department. Okay. Totally delusional.
Hey, this is James.
I just know
Jr.
that Josh got a big thing of views and subs because he stole somebody else's short off of a officer messing with a fish or something stupid like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Bastards. Absolute fucking bastards.
absolute a-holes.
Call that fuck.
Oh, I thought like he came and finished his sentence. He's so pissed off.
Fucking bastards.
Listen.
Call that fuck.
What's wrong, Cliff? Do you forget after 75 years how to talk, my dude? Like, did you forget how to formulate words and thoughts? Because you're just so mad. Ooh, who's this fourth guy? All right, so that's Josh, the toothless loser right there. Hey, pull your pants up, Josh. I know that, Cliff probably just got done with you, but when you guys are done with your naughty time, you need to pull them trousers back up, young man.
No, better just let him go. And we didn't get a supervisor, bud. Let the record show. This is going to be for the court records right here that we didn't get a supervisor upon request.
And
All right, guys, share this.
he goes, "What the fuck?" Yeah, they don't care, Josh. You're not involved. They didn't arrest you. They don't give a shit.
Slide out, share it everywhere.
It's kind of almost like whenever Terry tried to call up to like the governor of Mississippi, and he was like,
"Yeah, I think you guys really need to. Hey, Carver's helper, how you doing? It's okay. I was late too, so better late than never. Anyway, though, but it was like he was like, yeah, I need him to be expedited, not extradited, expedited. And they were like, yeah, get fucked.
Share it everywhere, guys.
when he was calling up for his little butt buddy, Reardon.
We're gonna work on what we need to work on. All right, guys.
Oh shit!
Oh, look at that! Oh, he's shaking, man. He's shaking. As they walk back to their very nice 2014 Ford Focus sedan. All right, let's stop this screen. All right, so this is my observation I made, guys. So the first thing I'm going to say is this. When it comes to the whole situation with that stuff going on that everyone's talking about, I want to say that Press Harder was totally in love with someone else's wife behind their back. And I think that due to this, he's definitely done and said some stupid shit. With that being said, I'm not going to play this live stream. But the one thing I want to point out is this is yesterday. Okay. And I'll tell you too, look back at any live stream that Press Harder has been on since, and he's wearing the exact same clothes that he was wearing from that live stream where Cliff is getting all up in his fifis. He's wearing the same hat, the same white t-shirt, the same Peter Pan, Frodo fucking leather vest. I'm just pointing that out as an observation. Like, hey, press, I'm just saying, man.
Exactly,
While Cliff
Giggles.
lets you stay in his basement or his studio apartment or whatever, you might want to utilize the shower.
Yep.
You know, maybe get a couple more bucks. Yeah, like shit, dude, change it up. Like maybe one day really fuck us up and come on stream with like a black t-shirt on and like no vest or something, or like a red t-shirt in the vest and like no hat, or like one day instead of the aviators you come up with like blue tinted aviators, right? Like change it up a little bit, dude. Shit. Nah, I'm just joking. Actually, first focus on getting more food because you need to eat more, bro. You're not eating enough, and you need to eat more. 100%. Not even trying to be a dick. Truly, genuinely worried for your health. Like you need to start eating more, bro. If you've got like a vitamin deficiency, you probably need to start taking vitamins or something. All right, guys. So we're gonna get into this last part, which so put a 1 in the chat if you guys saw what happened with the whole Ryder court situation earlier. The good old kick the can down the road. Which honestly, I'm not too surprised at. To be very fair, it seems like about 83% of all court dates are literally to schedule a future court date. Sometimes in between there's some work that has to be done to get to the next point possibly, but most of the time it's all about just continuing shit out, getting everyone's schedule to align more or less. So I'm not too surprised they kicked the can down the road again, but they did. Panelverse, thank you. James Jenner says he's still skirting the injustice system. I wouldn't say he's skirting it necessarily, James, but he's definitely taking full benefit. Court already moves very slow. And,
all right, let's do this.
What I've noticed from my experience is once you have a pretty long going court case that just keeps getting continued by one side over and over again, or even the combination of each side asking for multiple continuances, right? You kind of notice that there's this like, I don't know how to put it into words. It's like they're like, oh yeah, we know this is gonna keep getting continued out. You know, it's gonna end eventually, but you know,
I mean, that's what I do. I got a bunch of the same Fear No Evil shirts. I got like 4 of them, so it looks like I'm always wearing the same one. It's like one of the ones I'm wearing right now. It's got the different colored symbols too.
Right now, we're gonna continue out till next month or in 2 months, in 3 months, right? So, but so the reason I was gonna even do a live stream, guys, Billy had actually messaged me, and he basically said, hey, I know you haven't been live for a while. I'd really like to do a live stream with you. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it today, so hopefully we can get him on, one maybe next week or something. But one of the things I asked, him the last time I talked to him is I asked him, hey man, did you ever get any of those child support payments yet? Like I know you've been getting stiff for like, ever, but did you ever get anything done about that? And what would you know? He said, nope, nothing, man. Still nothing. So with that being said, I kind of want to go over this and just bring up some points. So I noticed that Ryder hasn't really posted anything in a while. He hasn't put out any videos, any live streams, any posts talking about how much he hates Trump and hopes he gets cancer and all this other shit. But I saw he did do a live stream with Tiffany. So we're gonna take a look at that real quick.
Are you good boys?
Tiffany's a girl, Chris. Tiffany's a girl.
He says, I'm not too sure about that phone.
He says, I don't want to go nowhere, Dad. I don't want to go nowhere. Dad don't even have to hold me. Look. I don't want to go nowhere. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe he will.
He'll go back to his stall is what he'll do.
He wants to go back to the stall. You all want to meet Clyde? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to meet Clyde. Pink Gelding Walker. Bo is a Tennessee Walker. He's a Palomino Tennessee Walker. And then,
So, you know what? Just so we can get some class participation, put a 1 in the chat if you guys own any type of livestock or specifically horses. If you guys own horses, put a 1 in the chat. I don't own a horse, but I do have a close friend who has a horse. She's had him for quite a long time too. So I'm not no horse expert, but I know a thing or two myself about him.
Oh, getting tired. I don't know if that marathon's gonna work, chat.
2 from Toyota. I don't know what
Might
2
be.
means. I guess
I
it
might
means
be
you don't own a horse.
going to sleep soon.
Because I never really gave 2 as an option. But so Toyota Tom does not have a horse. Okay. Oh, look at that GE swag. Okay. So everyone who has horses, can you guys tell me, is the cost associated with taking care of horses and giving them what they need, is that kind of expensive, or is that pretty cheap? I'll let you guys answer. Also, notice Ryder's bald spot shining through the sunlight. You can see that skull at the very top. And just so you guys know, I said horses, not whores, okay, guys? No whores here.
Here comes Karen.
All right, so very expensive, right? Very expensive, right, okay. So if it's so expensive to have all these horses, does that not prove that Tiffany cares more about horses than fucking paying her child support and take care of her own child?
Yep.
Like, just let that sink in real quick. She's more worried about these horses.
That's a fact.
Which, I'd be honest with you, I don't think these are their horses. I think that they've got a buddy who lets them come by whenever they want, because they don't want to have to hear fucking Chris Berg on the phone for a half hour about, well, man, we're friends since fucking kindergarten and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, shit, that one time we sucked each other off and, you know, this and that, you know, so he probably just, you know, lets them come by every once in a while. God, look at that bald spot. But let's continue on, guys.
and I'll take y'all to meet Clyde real quick. Honey, you want to get him out? Look, we're cleaning the stalls. That's stall number 1. That's actually a really good day right there. That's not too bad at all.
He said, look at that. That's a wheelbarrow of shit.
That was 2 days of not being cleaned. So that's actually really good right there. Y'all are getting ready to meet Clyde.
You know, guys, I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together. I don't think that Chris owns any of these horses at all. I think Chris shovels the shit and cleans these horse cages for money, or perhaps still owns one horse and trades cleaning the shit out for, you know, a stall. Yeah. Video evidence of the legit job he has. Yeah, I mean, between that and fixing tile ceilings in the courthouse, I mean, yeah, exposed. Hashtag exposed.
He's my other Tennessee Walker paint.
Hey, so did you guys like my thumbnail? I tried to not make it too complicated. I tried to make it very simple, but I'd say that it did a pretty good job. That does look like Chris on the thumbnail.
Gelding. These are both
Would be
boys.
nice.
The mares are out in the. Well, they decided to get in the rain. Here, I'll flip it around and show you the mares real quick. The other people have horses here too, but hang on, I'll show you Belle and Lena.
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy. And as a therapist myself, of course
Oh,
I'm going to say that's
no.
a great idea.
I'm not thinking about going to therapy. I probably
They
need it
are
after this, but
out in the
Okay.
field right now. Can you see them? That's our 2 mares. Belle is this one. She's a thoroughbred. And then if you can see little Lena,
Jesus, Chris, even your fucking pointer finger's overweight, bud.
the quarter horse. Lena's got a good bloodline history. Her dad is a world famous. Her semen comes from world famous cutting horse known as Little Lena, Smart Little Lena. You also look that up whenever you get time. Smart Little Lena was like one of the world's best cowboy cutting horse, cutting cattle. You ever bring him over here, babe? You want to meet Clyde? That's Clyde. Come here, bub. Come here. Come meet the audience. Come meet our friends. This is Clyde. Where are you going?
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've got a lot I want to say, but I'm just gonna bite my tongue on it because G said, "Is this the 3, 2, 4, 5 horses he's owned and sold then didn't sell?" Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Chris lives in like southern Indiana. It gets like really hot there and humid. He had to take a sit down. You didn't see all that sweat. Yeah, Bill said he's full of shit. Now we know where he gets it. Matt says that horse looks unhealthy. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've only been around one horse. His name is King. I'm sure that's a pretty common name for a lot of horses. So, but I really wouldn't even know how to tell if a horse is not healthy because the only horse I've been around, he's always been kept very well by his trainer. She takes very good care of him. And, you know, I've never really been around a horse that's not been taken care of. So I wouldn't even know. I mean, I could like imagine like, you know, like a starving horse or something, you know, but her semen. Yeah, so that's the thing, Candace, is Chris gets a little confused on stuff, like kind of like bond and probation. Sometimes he gets them kind of switched up. Like it's kind of like the interview of Step Brothers where they're both interviewing together, and she's like, "My name's Pam." He's like, "Oh, Pan? No, Pam with an M. Oh, we got to figure out this Pam situation, you know."
Where are you going? Don't you stop on my foot. He wants attention. He's all wound up. Is that your friends? Huh? Is that your friends, buddy? Is it? Is it? He's such a good boy. So, Clyde here. What is Clyde, about 12, 13? He's about 12 or 13. Don't step on your own feet, Goofy. And he is such a good boy on the trails. He'll do anything.
These do got to be pretty big horses, though. I think Fat Boy over here is like 6'2" or something like that, and the horse's neck's definitely going up above his head. You know, unless he's like crouching over.
Anytime, anywhere that I ask him. Now, I mean anything. This horse is fast. Are you hungry? Look, he's trying to eat. He's trying to eat my shorts.
Shit, come on, man.
You want to eat my shorts? You are. You want to eat my shorts? So this is my Tennessee Walker. This is my daily riding horse. This is the one that, yeah, usually just doing me on the trails, ain't it, buddy? He's my first go-to for the trails, and he's really fast. Not as fast as old Bobo there, though. Bobo was clocked.
He said, "Yo, hey, this horse is fast, but this other one, Bobo, hey, you really carries my ass over them hills fast, quick."
Next to a four-wheeler with the speedometer on it, doing 30 mile an hour in a walk in a gate. That's not trotting. That's not running. Does a pretty good job on the trails. We can get to, like, not a hard day. He does that, and it's actually, he's trying to spend energy, and it's actually a bad trait. Not something.
Really, it doesn't mean that the horse, like, I think the horse claps his hooves on the pavement every time he hears a fat slob lying next to him or something like that. Pretty sure that I think that's what my friend told me.
He wanted him to do, so I usually tell him quit hoofing. Quit scraping with the hooves.
So James totally wins like the best comment of the night award if there was one, because dang, gotta understand, okay, James, Ryder has layers, all right? Like an onion.
I need to finish cleaning stalls. Just wanted to say hi. Let y'all talk and meet the horses a little bit while we didn't have them.
Huh, that's weird. So if Chris was keeping some of his horses there, why would he need to clean out all the stalls? I mean, usually when you board your horse, okay, so I'm sure it's different everywhere, right? Everyone works out a different thing, but the horse I know, the owner doesn't typically have to shovel their shit. Usually the person who like owns it and is there all day long takes care of all that when the horses are out running in the little gated area. So am I wrong on that, or do you shovel your horse's own crap, or is that something you you kind of pay for? Let me know in the chat.
Kids with us. What are you doing? Here. Should I put in the work, y'all?
I would say yes, Giggles. I would say yes.
Todd, do you want to clean your own stall? Here, let me flip around for you.
I don't give a shit about kids.
It won't flip. Where are you going? Oh, I just realized we're in vertical.
If you want to learn how to edit really well from professional Hollywood editors, we're going to show you the stuff that nobody else is teaching.
Where are you going, Clyde? Say hi to everybody. Say hi, Wingspan Angel.
Say hi,
to
losers.
STD in New Zealand.
Say hi, losers.
These are the people that have chipped in to help
Hey,
make your
losers.
boarding, so you better show some appreciation, big boy. Which is very much appreciated, guys. We're paying quite a bit of money to have the horses here, but it's been worth it. You know, we love the barn here. We love the other people's that are here with us, and their horses are great. We get to trail ride whenever we want, whenever we can. Yeah. Don't you stomp on my feet. Watch him.
He's like the.
I'll kick his butt if he does it. But he'll stomp his feet towards me and try to get attention. Usually let him. Not gonna get on back. Another time around. All right. Well, love y'all.
God, Ryder got even fatter than he was before. Say I was surprised, but I'm really not. All right, guys. Well, I mean, really past that, the only thing I can say is, let's see here. The only other up-to-date thing is you've got Weirdo Terry, who is still making a bunch of false claims, saying, I said all this other shit, saying he has all this evidence, not bringing anything up at all. And also, just so you guys know, Terry Moore, a.k.a. Tyrants Beware, a.k.a. Maverick, we're still not sure. They're all still trying to fight for the light. But just so you know, Terry is a coward. He likes to talk shit and then block everybody in the comments. I know several people that he's blocked in just his latest live stream. And it's because Terry, face it, you're a certified pussy. So with that being said, I guess I'll just end the live stream kind of with a comment that I left on his
You're a
latest
certified pussy.
where, guys, he doxes his own brother's court documents. Like, you say one thing about him,
He's not a sharp
and
one.
he gets super, super butthurt and gets so guilty to the point where he feels he needs to put up all these court
I
documents.
don't need any more fucking
in
mana.
reply to someone just simply reading an online article. Like, just going on an online article and reading it off got him so in his fifis, as Cliff would say. Thank you, Grant Miller. Appreciate you, bro. But yeah, so I left a comment. I put it up as a post, but I'll just read this comment, and then after that, guys, I'm probably gonna end it unless anybody's gonna hop on. I put up the StreamYard a couple times earlier, but so this was my comment I left to Terry. I'll just read it out. It says, "Wow, Terry, it's sad you wasted probably hours of your time.
I'll never
to
go
make a
blue
video
green
that still
again.
proves
I'll
nothing.
never fucking go
Your
blue
claim
green
was
again.
that I called you a pedo, and you
Fucking
claimed in your
shitty
last
color
video you had
combo.
proof of this, yet failed to provide any. You also claimed that I
Fucking
somehow had
horrible.
something to do with you getting fired from your job, yet never made any follow-up.
Yeah, I'm going to bed right
any
after
proof of
this,
that
guys.
either. You just spent the entire video doxing your brother's court documents, which I'm sure he's very appreciative of, and then ended it with another one of your super low effort and horrible AI songs. Like, as if this was Pitch Perfect or West Side Story and we were supposed to have a dance-off or sing-off. Is that what you want, Terry? You want me to write you a song back? Kind of a little creepy, but I guess I could try. All I did was review an online article, but I guess it hurt your sensitive little feelings so bad that it caused you to dox your own family member. Wow. I have offered you countless times to panel up, yet every time you have been a no-show. Is it because you know that I would make you look very silly in front of everyone? I know that you're used to associating with a group of subversive and sad individuals like Cliff and want to live in delusion. But this is getting ridiculous at this point, Terry. These types of people are not good influences, as being a thirsty subversive in their 70s who whines and cries like a 6-year-old all over the internet is a super bad look. I think you should seek mental counseling, medical help, or perhaps a therapist. Before that, though, I would focus on getting a job. They have cool apps out there like Indeed that should help you find something pretty quick. If not, you could just stock up on some more animals and keep the family business going. As far as court goes, good luck. In simplest terms, since I know it's hard for you to understand, your claims are bull, just like anything else that comes out of your mouth. Also, you might want to let Sir Shakes-a-Lot know that it's even a worse look to be in your 70s and after all this time, still be such a thirsty coward. Don't follow in his footsteps and start taking some accountability. You lost your job because of you. Stop blaming other people and stop lying and trying to play internet tough guy or wannabe lawyer. It's going to get you in trouble, and being unemployed now, I don't think you can afford it.
Come on. What is this, dude?
So yeah, guys.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
That was the huge, awesome, amazing live stream.
God, I keep getting fucked, man. The shuffler is fucking the hell out of me, dude.
People at one point, so very much appreciate it. Considering this is
I mean, this is ridiculous.
But
all
yeah, guys,
fucking
with that being
night.
said, if there's anything y'all want to put in the comments, we got about another minute. I'm looking through to see if anything news popped up. Or anything.
Yeah, I got the same. It's like I got the same freaking deck, dude.
That. I think we're gonna probably be done for the night.
All right, guys.
Executive in the Blackstone building and then went to the Blackstone floor targeting Blackstone employees.
According to Eric Adams, he mistakenly went to the
right, and the source of that was two unnamed sources speaking with the press on the condition of anonymity.
By the way, though, too, if the narrative is that it's anti-football and that football is dangerous, the corporate media is grabbing onto that immediately. Why? Because they hate football. Because football is uniquely masculine and American. No, really. I mean, there's a massive movement among those types, ruling class people, including the corporate media, against playing football in this country. So if they think they can grab onto that, whether it's true or not, they're going to run with that narrative. And by the way, I will certainly defend football. Football is very worthy of American young men playing.
But it is violent and dangerous and can cause CTE.
Yes, all of that is true. Playing high school, there's no significant data that they're playing.
I'll tell you what, Phyrexia, I'll never go green-blue ever again, bro. I'll never do green-blue. Look at this fucking, what the fuck, dude? I mean, I keep getting fucked. Oh, look. There's a fucking land. Fucking bullshit, dude. It's getting really frustrating, Phyrexia. What's up, Boot? That was a good show, man. Good show. Ah, it's so frustrating, dude. I'm getting so sick and tired of freaking getting screwed with mana, man, over and over again. Dude. What the fuck? Are you? Oh, I should never auto tap, dude. I purposely did 3 so I'd have 1 fucking blue mana open. Wow. Just freaking wow. I can't even right now, dude. I can't even right now. Why the fuck would it leave one green open? What the fuck could I have done with one green mana? Just because of this. That's it. That's why it left one green open. It's freaking ridiculous, man. Sorry, guys. This has put me in a not good mood, man. I got to tell you. These drafts have been kind of bizarre.
High school football leads to in any significant measure
really
to
frustrating.
CTE. I mean, that is also, demonstrably true. But are there risks? Of course. Just as there's risk to playing hockey, there's risk to playing soccer to your head by hitting the soccer ball, right? It's actually quite dangerous for your brain. So there's risk to all.
I think there's something with warp and spaceships. I think it's a really good combo. This guy's like basically got a mirror deck, dude. Sure. I like Aether Drift over this set, and Aether Drift was trash. There's some interesting cards in here, but like this card right here is actually pretty good. I think this would go good in the Monk deck. This is good with flash cards too, or warp cards rather. Fucking, of course. Let's see, we got a fight. All right, opponent's at 6. 3. Yeah, here we go. I'm so glad I left that open. That just saved my ass right there. That just saved my butt right there. Welcome back, Karma. So he's going to attack with that. Sure, I'll block with that. All right. All right, all right, all right. I think we got to go with this while he has 3 creatures. We swing with these. Sure. Okay, and turn. All right. Well, that's game. Fuck me, dude. All right, I'm off. I'll talk to y'all later. What a great fucking night. What an absolute dunce of a frickin' never draft green blue, dude. Never. It's fucking garbage. Absolute fucking hot fucking garbage. But anyway, I've got a bunch of packs to open up. I'm not going to open them up until, I don't know, probably a while. So let's see what we got here. I can unlock whatever that is. Whatever that is. Are we going to do insects? Yeah, let's be this guy, I guess. Why not? Let's set that to default. Go ahead and claim it. All right. I'm not. Let's see. Tsunami to hit Hawaii in 2 hours, and hurricanes are on the way to. Oh, fun. Isn't that lovely? All right. I think I'm gonna fart around with some of the new cards. Don't have another Tezzeret. What's up, King Glitter? How you doing? How you doing? All right, so we got the Lumen class frigate. Yeah, I'm probably going to fart around with this a little bit. All right, let's try this. Let's go.
All sports. But I'm getting back to this case. Let me ask you this, Tim. What would be the motivation of the NYPD on the scene to do something that is defensive of Mamdani? In other words, why would they want to cover for a possible incoming mayor who the police hate?
They wouldn't.
Okay, so who would then?
Unnamed
American
sources
Pie.
talking to the press
I love
claim they
that
didn't know
movie.
his pocket.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that whole part's just manufactured. That's
No, I'm saying
not coming from the police.
when the media comes out, it's here's what I'm saying. I'm saying this. I have no idea what his motivation was. What we know is that a guy went to a Blackstone office, shot a Blackstone executive responsible for their who was in their real estate division, went up to a real estate holdings floor with which includes
Come on. See,
Blackstone,
what is going on,
and
dude?
again shot people. And then we got from the corporate press that unnamed sources said he had a note in his pocket blaming the NFL. And I got a chat full of
Man,
people right
it's
now
so
saying, yep,
ridiculous,
that's true.
bro.
So you guys in the chat right now just saying the mainstream media's
I
unnamed
got 2
sources
of these
are
in my
correct. You're
deck.
right.
I get
Trump
2
is a
in the
Russian
opening
agent.
hand.
Are you kidding me? So when we get this story, and I wake up in the morning, I look at the news, and it says he had a note in his pocket blaming the NFL. I went, wow, that's crazy. And then I read it and said 2 unnamed sources say, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, as of right now, law enforcement has not released a motive. So where did this narrative come from, and why is everyone latched onto it as if it's a fact?
Well, and what I'm telling you is that the corporate media, if that is manufactured, in fact, the corporate media would concoct that in a second because they would say, wow, he shot someone from the NFL, right? Why would he hate the NFL? Let's say he has CTE because we hate football, because we want football to go away. I'm saying I don't think that's an implausible motivation if, in fact, it's a manufactured story.
Oh, I was
question for y'all in
getting
the
ready
chat.
to be done.
Watching right now is
Truth be told.
with law enforcement saying there's no evidence of an
Yeah.
official motive. Do
Sorry.
you believe the media narrative that
Found his
provided
condoms.
by unnamed sources and
Yeah, that shit's
reiterated by Mayor
hilarious.
Eric Adams that it was a guy who never associated with the NFL? And I'm not saying.
God, I'm so sick of these fucking retarded landfall decks, man. I'm so sick of them. So fucking J with a G, dude. So sick of them.
Saying that facetiously. It's a guy who played a couple years of high school football and then went to the NFL offices, shot a Blackstone executive, got in the wrong elevator, and then took his own life, accidentally going to the Blackstone offices. Is that what happened? Honest question.
Well, I mean,
according to the media, so far from the reports that we have, it seems more or less that
we don't.
He accidentally.
So my first hand, so get this, chat. My first hand was all blue mana. My second hand is all white mana. Huh. Interesting.
Here's the thing, too, I think
Shuffle
it's
is
a
fine,
larger
guys.
point that none of us believe the official narrative we're going to be told, right? I mean, and that's the sad place of American society. And unfortunately,
pick your own narrative. Yeah.
Well, but unfortunately, it's because so much law enforcement, particularly federal law enforcement, I love cops, love beat cops on the street, but federal law enforcement has been so corrupted and poisoned and politicized that we simply don't believe these institutions that we formerly, held in high regard, particularly the FBI. So, I mean, I think this is what we're talking about here is unfortunately reflective of that larger reality of, just disbelief of whatever we're told. Is it true? I don't know, even if it's official. Now, in this case, too, we're talking about reporting, which is a whole other level of natural skepticism, which is very proper. But the point is, for example, how many people do you know who believe that we know the full truth about the mass Las Vegas shooting? Right?
Oh, we never got any of that.
It seems no one believes that we know the full truth. No one that I know.
That's because that many guns.
Yeah,
are heavy.
exactly. Shuffler is
Well, I'm just saying,
completely
there's
fair.
all kinds of reasons, but the point is, I don't know anyone who
100%
believes,
nothing to say.
Here's what. Let me tell you where I'm coming from. I was out yesterday. Obviously, I was sick, and I'm watching the news, and the initial reporting is a guy walks into the Blackstone building, shoots and kills a Blackstone executive, goes up to the real estate holdings office, and is targeting more people. And then I was like, holy crap. Remember how we've been talking about for years how Blackstone is buying up houses? According to Fast Company, a year and a half ago, Blackstone is back to being a
I
top
didn't
player in
even
the
wanna
housing
do that,
market.
damn
Here
it.
are the numbers. A story that we've covered routinely was how Blackstone would, there would be like a young Gen Z couple trying to buy a house, and then all of a sudden the seller would say, Blackstone came in 20% above market. And
Yep.
they'd sell it, driving the prices way up and keeping young people out of the market. And what would we say the whole time? You will own nothing and you will be happy. That was
Yep.
the agenda. So then when I hear a story about a guy going to the Blackstone offices, again, killing a Blackstone executive who specifically worked in real estate, then going up to a real estate office, which also, it was a real estate company and it was Blackstone, I was like, holy crap. It sounds like this lines up with what we'd expect from online activism, the conspiracy community. And then the morning when I woke up, they said, nah, he was just a guy who thought the NFL was bad. And he accidentally went to the wrong floor. And I was like, well, that doesn't add up to anything. I mean, that doesn't fit any online activism communities. How was he radicalized into deciding to shoot NFL people? Why would I assume that's true? And then the reports were that it was unnamed sources. Throughout the day, however, everybody's been pushing that narrative, assuming that's the case. And as of right now, law enforcement has not stated they know of what his motivation was. So I find it interesting that there's this split, and people are really trying hard to say, no, it's just big football is dangerous, and there's I find it hard to.
Got to play Phyrexia tomorrow, I think. And try to put together some kind of a deck or something. I don't even know.
Believe that, when you look at the mass shootings we've had in the past, the motivations line up in some degree. So you had the transgender lunatic, went to a Catholic school and targeted Christians, blamed them and wrote this stuff down. You had, obviously, if you go back further, you have Orlando, you have the shooting of the congressional baseball game. It seems to be that the motivations line up with something tangible in politics and culture. The NFL? You can't go up against the NFL? I just find the whole thing to be very weird, to be honest. And again, I'll stress this. When law enforcement comes out and says, no, we do believe based on the evidence, this is the official narrative, the official motivation, I'll say, okay, sure.
Awesome.
All right. But I'm just stressing, right now, there's no official motivation as per law enforcement, only these unnamed media reports. And there are people desperately in the chat right now saying it was the NFL. And I'm like, oh, okay. I got to be honest, I've never heard of this before in my life. Have you guys? That like the NFL is running a conspiracy to destroy people who suffer from CTE?
Well, there is a significant propaganda campaign against football, yes. And really, it's particularly been pronounced since that Will Smith movie, Concussion, right? But try to scare people into believing that playing football means, you're going to be...
But my point specifically is, and I mean this sincerely, is there a conspiracy theory or...
God, it's the same fucking...
Not a conspiracy theory, but like a contention
over and over again
about NFL targeting people suffering from CTE
Nothing
in their
new,
high schools
nothing
to stop
interesting.
them from hurting the reputation of football?
Well, I guess the idea would be that the NFL didn't
Can I get a
properly
mana?
talk about the risk that playing football can bring, which includes CTE, would be the argument from the...
He didn't associate with the NFL or play with the NFL or do anything related to the NFL.
Fucking embarrassing.
Well, I mean, look, my money's on, and this is just an opinion, but I think that it's just mental illness, that he had a psychotic break and that he imagined that the situation was as he's said. So that's just, again, this is only based on the things that I know, and it's only an opinion. It's not that I haven't.
Someone helped him get. Eric Adams gave a press conference where he said one of the components of the rifle that he used was purchased for him by somebody else in Nevada. I'm not sure who.
Could be.
And that he had a permit in Vegas, in Nevada, and that's where he was able to acquire the weapon, and then came to New York. I also find it just strange that someone from Nevada would plan this whole thing out and then go to the wrong floor. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
I will say Manhattan buildings are very confusing, and in many of these big towers, there are dozens of different businesses. I would be surprised if it's only Blackstone and the NFL in that building.
Yeah, there's like KMPGM or something like that. Some other
If a building has 50 floors,
that building is a full city block.
So
it's massive.
There's tons of different businesses in there. I want to believe that we aren't seeing more targeted killings of Jews. She was a
here we go.
UJA
The Jews.
The Jewish Foundation too.
It's the Jews.
I don't know. I hope that's not true. I hope we're not seeing the normalization of this in New York City, in Manhattan, in Pennsylvania, in too many places to name.
Stop fucking around with people's lives, idiots.
Like I mentioned,
maybe that shit won't happen.
Motivated by woke leftism, and they withheld the information. Is it? And I'm asking you guys sincerely. When we get these mass shootings, do they typically release the motivation on like day one, like within 3 or 4 hours of?
Honestly, it depends on what the motivation is.
If
Dylann Roof, it was right away.
Right. If it's a right wing thing, they release it, but it's a left wing thing, they don't.
That's been the practice.
If they chant something at the shooting, then they'll talk about it sooner. If there's a manifesto, sometimes they'll try to withhold it and withhold the details. I feel like for as long as they can,
unless it's right wing.
Unless it's right wing, or unless the shooter did something during the shooting to make it obvious. So I feel like it's a case.
They were saying it was a white male at first too.
Yeah.
By the way, regarding that horrific
that was only
Nashville
CNN,
shooting
though.
At Covenant School, the only reason that finally we did get full transparency is because a local radio host, Michael Patrick Leahy, sued for it, thankfully, successfully sued, and said this must be public. By the way, there was no law enforcement was trying to claim that they needed it to keep it private to investigate. Well, the shooter was dead, all right? So there's nothing to investigate in terms of they don't have to prepare for trial. They don't have to worry about evidence.
Fucking
it
free fucking mana.
It wasn't.
No blue mana.
Conservative state of Tennessee, where
Fucking,
I live,
what is
one liberal
fucking going on with this retarded... Dude, I'm telling you, man, they broke the fucking shuffler, dude. This shuffler is so fucking retarded right now. I mean, I've never been more fucking frustrated playing a game. What are the odds, dude? What are the odds that I get fucking all blue the first hand, all white the second hand? $24 lands. Shit's ridiculous, dude. Might be just time to go to bed, man. It's fucking ridiculous, man. If this thing fucks me again, if this shuffler fucks me one more time, dude. All right, Dove. This, what the fuck, dude? Again, these two. I only have 2 in my deck. Same fucking hand as before. Shouldn't have to fucking mulligan every fucking time. This is infuriating, man. This is Phyrexia. Bro, I understand if you're stressed out about this shit. This is a fucking boondoggle. This is some nonsense.
Authorities simply did not want it out that this was a trans person upset at her Christian school that didn't approve of her lifestyle choices. And she went back there and slaughtered children because of it. And that wasn't a ruling class narrative that is approved and that can get out, right? Had it been a situation like the terrible situation in South Carolina, Dylan Roof killing black people in a black church, it's out immediately.
He also lived, so he kind of said that exactly what he did and why. So if that's the case, then you'll know pretty quickly as well.
This is interesting because someone super chatted this. They said, because I wasn't, I got to be honest, last night I was in bed watching Fox News literally all day. That's all I was doing. Gotta love Fox. And It's Time to Stand says, what about the woman on video in New York who said the shooter was screaming Free Palestine? And so I looked it up, and even Laura Loomer tweeted, yes, we get it, Free Palestine is a mental disorder, as if that was it. Witnesses say the suspect yelled, Free Palestine, I'm not the shooter, while armed with an AR-15. And this is a wrong person. There's images of NYPD arresting a guy, and it's a guy, he's like, I'm not the shooter. So I think people can, I think the NYPD arrested a guy, but it was not the shooter, and the guy who wasn't the shooter who got arrested did yell Free Palestine, and now people think the shooter was yelling Free Palestine. I think that's what happened. Just based off what I'm looking at right now on X. It looks like initially the cops arrested a different person, and people thought he was the shooter. I don't know. Man, y'all decide, I guess.
In the IRL Slack, there's a link. There's a tsunami hitting Russia right now.
Wow. Wait.
A few minutes ago.
The tsunami has hit
Kursk, I believe.
There it is.
Wow, there it is. All right, man. I hope everybody in Alaska is paying attention and safe.
Get to high ground.
That is crazy.
Wow.
Yep. And people don't understand. They think, you know, for movies, tsunamis are these gigantic waves that come over your city. It's basically just the whole water levels rising rapidly and flowing in. And what's going to get you, you know what, man? I've seen more than enough videos. I know most of you have where people try to walk across streams.
Yeah.
You ever watch those videos? And they go whoosh, and just flip. They don't understand fluid dynamics and the amount of force on your feet. Not to mention, it's slippery.
Yep.
It's slippery. We got to jump to this story. We have to. This is the biggest news in the country. WNBA star loses wig during game as game stopped due to fan reaction. They also kicked the guy out. And are you kidding me? Are you kidding me
about it, or
for making fun of her? I was just I'm watching the clip, and the player's wig comes off, and she runs out, and they stop the game, and I'm like, just shut it down. No more WNBA. You're not allowed to play if you have to pause, timeout, wig accident. That's the WNBA for you. I don't understand why anybody is acting like the WNBA matters. Why are they trying to make it a thing?
Everything about this league is just patently absurd. And I think perhaps the most absurd part is the players and others trying to protest that they're not paid enough when the league is 100% subsidized by the men, right? And that's supposed to be a win for feminism, to say we have a captive league that can only exist by the benefits of men, right? And by the charity of men, right? I mean, that's absurd. It's the opposite of feminism.
And
Why the hell she got to have like a
the women
3 mile
that are
long
saying,
wig in the
"Oh,
first
hey,
place?
you know,
dude.
pay us what we're worth, etc." Like, they're totally ignoring that fact and making believe that that isn't the actual situation. Which
the economic value is negative. Yeah. Okay, that's what you're actually worth economically, right?
I figured it out. It's Juana Mann. She ran off when her wig fell off because people are going to realize it's a disgraced former NBA player who's playing in the women's league to try and play ball. But here you can see the player right here. Her wig fell off. There she is. She grabs it and runs off the court.
I mean, if this were
ejected,
if
get
this
out.
were a men's game, would there be any situation that you could even think of that resembles this?
Yeah.
Like,
okay, but also, can we talk about the idea of kicking the fan
All
out
right.
for
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I ain't got nothing fun going on over here, Karma. I was just playing some Magic. I appreciate you hanging out. I'll talk to you later. Tell Wizard I said hello and enjoy the hell out of that movie. It's hilarious and kind of jacked up all at the same time.
laughing about what is clearly an absurd situation? I mean, what's next? You can't boo the opponent? I mean, this is a big part of spectator sports, right?
Yeah.
Is having fun.
I
and
keep
even
yawning.
to a
I'm
degree
going to go to
being
bed
kind of mean,
after
right,
this.
about the opposite team. And are we now censoring that? Is that now verboten or only in the WNBA, I guess?
There's only one person that laughed.
So I will say this.
No, I guess someone was like making fun of her, and so they removed him.
She deserved.
I mean,
she ran off.
Sit in the outfield at Yankee Stadium, right? When the other team's in the field, when the
Dude, our country is ripe to get frickin' taken over, dude. Everyone's just baby shit soft.
Yankees are batting, and listen to the crowd mock the players, right? I mean, it's almost an art form, right? And it's as crude as could possibly be. I'm not saying that we all should model that behavior, but the point is that's part of sports, right? It's clearly part of
Man.
sports, and we're saying you can't even make fun of something that's clearly a really absurd situation.
So, I'm not particularly compelled or interested in the WNBA, but I do think it's a good thing that it exists. I think the worst thing about the WNBA, though, is that it seems as though the players are doing everything within their power to make the league fail. Most of the players are extremely unlikable. When they have one talented player, everybody on the other teams get jealous of her. There's a ton of envy amongst the league players. They're very arrogant. They're not open to change. One of the big things that they could
taking
do.
the Colbert approach on this one, huh?
Oh, how so? What-
Being on the wrong side of a 820 issue.
So, but just let me finish. There's one thing that there was
Let me
actually a couple of the
finish.
players were asked,
Let me
like, that could
finish.
change the game to make it a lot more interesting, and that is lowering the rim to allow the
Legal.
women to be able to dunk. One of the things that again makes
guy
normal
frickin'
men's
makes me
basketball
wanna
very
throw up my
interesting.
mouth.
Maybe like 5 feet.
Whatever, maybe
Cut it in half.
8, 9.
And they
Like
can just place
I think dunking would completely change the game for them. And they're like, no, we want to be like the men. We want to be like the men. So it's like this ego of
They need a
trying
bigger-
to
they need a
compare
bigger
themselves.
ball, too.
Well, they use a smaller ball already.
So make the
There's-
ball bigger.
No, they should make it smaller so it's easier to dunk,
make
lower
more,
the rim, make it easier for them to hit three-pointers.
Add more than one ball and they can juggle them.
Start defending Caitlin Clark. And I mean, I think it's a good thing
way,
to have
dude.
young women to like
Hey,
have
start
sports
fucking
teams
shutting down the white chick that's
look up to, but
crushing the
again,
league.
all these players
Yeah.
are extremely unlikable.
Racist little
Yeah, the only thing they
cocksucker.
got going for them is that Foxy Boxing is live now in Indiana. I'm not kidding. Like, it's a disgusting league. It's a waste of money. It's laughably pathetic. Timeout. Wig fell off. Oh, what is this? Kindergarten? Oh, I lost my hair. Oh, I can't play no more. And then on top of that, when Caitlin Clark starts making the money for the league, they start beating the crap out of her.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
No,
You know,
those are still women, and there's a lot of envy.
just get rid of it. You don't deserve to have a WNBA anymore.
We wouldn't be
Why is the NBA paying for this?
We would not be talking about this topic
Stupid.
tonight if it were not for Caitlin Clark. Like, that's the only reason. The WNBA was totally ignored before Caitlin Clark. So she made the league relevant, made it controversial, made it into something that Timcast wants to talk about. But here's the thing. So what do they do to thank her for bringing them relevance? They physically assaulted her every chance they got because she happens to be white and
That's a
straight.
whole fact.
Two unforgivable sins, apparently, in the WNBA. So, look, I think this league should be thoroughly mocked. I think it's a joke. I think it's bad for our culture. It's bad for our society because it's full of hate, and the hate is condoned and, in fact, sometimes even celebrated.
Well, I mean, look, it's all women. and women hate each other. So I mean, they're going to hate. That's just part of the dynamic.
To continue harping on them being so unlikable, I forgot the tall woman who brought pot to freaking Russia like a a moron.
Brittany Griner.
And then Brittany Griner, and then we had to do one of the worst trade
Again.
deals in history, giving up like
Again.
infamous Russian arms dealer Victor Bout, I believe it was.
Very smart
like,
woman.
She need to be smarter than that, man. So again, the league are making themselves
Again.
extremely unlikable, but like on principle, I think the idea is nice. Like a women's league.
What
On principle, just it's a new business. I like when businesses thrive and try to empower women, but
Dude,
when it
this
plays
one's
out
not
like
thriving.
this,
Right. So what do Brittany Griner and Bridget Macron have in common?
potentially men, or I don't know, allegedly.
Bro.
I'm saying that with so many allegedly.
As long as we're talking conspiracy theories.
No,
the
I don't want to
Griner
get
one-
sued because, you know, the Macrons are coming
Well,
after.
you can't get
Candace.
sued for calling a woman a man.
You can in France, apparently.
No, they're
that
suing
suits
Candace.
here.
They're suing her here, and it's going to get tossed out in 2 seconds. They're going to have to pay her legal fees. Yep. It's a stupid suing Candace Owens because she called Bridget Macron a man. That's protected speech.
Yeah, and everyone knows Bridget Macron is Eddie.
So the argument is in court you'll have to ask what's inherently defamatory about accusing someone of being transgender. And Bridget Macron is going to have to publicly state being gender is bad and defamatory because. So it's not going to happen.
Look,
and
man,
Brittany Griner's
that's
been
part of the paradox of this case, for sure.
There's allegedly a video of Brittany Griner walking around with no shirt on, and it's a guy. Maybe it's not Brittany Griner. I have no idea, but this is the internet, so if it's on the internet, it must be true.
Listen to Brittany Griner speak.
Right.
Bro.
Well, there are a lot of butch, masculine women who, I mean, no, she did. I know
guys
what video
gotta
you're talking
shut
about
the
without her
hell
shirt
up,
on,
you're
and it
so
did look a little bit
fucking
odd,
annoying.
but
it's a guy.
I didn't see the
Do
video.
you think Bridget Macron is a man, more importantly, though?
I didn't before, but after this lawsuit, I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, she really Streisand affected that. But
Yeah.
if I'm Bridget Macron, I'm so conflicted on like how to fight back against Candace.
way,
Like,
You don't. You just Michelle Obama is just like whatever.
With Macron, by the way.
No, to be real quick, sorry. Yeah. One of the reasons there's a rumor that the reason Michelle Obama refuses to run for president is because they call her a man. Like, could you imagine being like an aging woman and you're getting old and ugly, and then all over the world millions of people are like, that's a guy. That's gonna rip at their hearts, you know. So I heard Michelle Obama won't run because of the man comments.
in that case, it's a very effective way to get her to not run.
Okay.
Indeed,
Should be
it
really
is.
Happy about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be in the limelight and get called a man for 2 years.
Yeah.
Or 6.
I struggle with it because what if Bridget Macron actually is a woman and she's just being mercilessly slandered by Candace Owens?
How's it slander?
Almost baselessly, because like she's repeating some.
Well, what's slanderous?
Some almost slanderous about calling Bridget Macron a man. Yeah. Because she's allegedly a woman.
Right, but what's slanderous about it? What's inherently
She's lying
defamatory?
about the gender of.
If I said, "Hey guys, Elad, he's actually got blonde hair," oh, whoa, how is it defamatory?
It's a little bit more complicated than that, because that would mean that the Prime
What if I
Minister
said
of France is married to a man who's pretending to be.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go lay in my recliner and maybe drift off to sleep. I will talk to you guys all on the next one. Thanks for hanging out. I was gonna do a marathon, but this is as far as it gets, under 3 hours. Tired. Uh-oh, looks like I broke my thing here.